7 people? Is that everyone? Oh yeah, there's 6 players and there's me.
And then you.
One player.
2 player. 3 player.
All right.
If Curse the Strut was run by the Muppet Show.
Say he doesn't have an accent on your side of the world.
Who doesn't?
Was it Countula? What was his name? I can't remember. I was joking that he would have an accent.
Yeah.
Count Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got an Australian accent.
Yeah, exactly. Some of that. I was just curious.
1 bat. Fucking 2 bats, mate.
Bloody hell, it's 3 bats here.
Bloody hell, we got a lot of bats.
It's like, crikey, we got 5 bats.
Crikey, that's a lot of bats. Fuck. All right.
Bats.
Yeah, that's a shitload of bats. Okay. So, little bit of housekeeping. Me and Anna discussed the concept of using the exchange for your gold and silver and everything. We couldn't come up with any time when it would actually be fun to be like, shit, we have to find a way to resolve this issue. So go ahead and do as much exchanging as you like. Also, I've kind of got everyone's gold now in a place where I think it makes sense. I sort of split the earnings among the party and converted everyone's currency to platinum and everything. So going forward, if you can make an effort to keep track of your own gold, and then I'll have a look at it at the end, but like, yeah, might not do it with such a fine-tooth comb. And the other thing I wanted to mention is I noticed that I noticed there should have been a 4th Alchemist Fire. Remember, Rain, you thought there were 4, but there were only 3 for some reason?
Mm-hmm.
So I've given you that 4th one, but we'll just say that Rivelin, he only needed 3. He's like...
Okay.
I don't know. He's got plenty of Alchemist Fire now. But yeah. So now that the house is thoroughly cleaned, is everyone ready?
Ready as all hurry.
Could you be more excited, please?
Yeah.
I'm just worried of what's going to happen the next couple, maybe hour or 2, depending on how bad luck I got.
Wait. You
Yeah, you're the one that's going to make the shit pop off.
Always go in being like, hey, I'm going to take you on.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to happen, but I feel like that's not what everybody else wants me to do.
So the player is dreading the actions of his own PC.
Pretty much.
This guy is an idiot. He just runs into battle without thinking. What am I supposed to do about it?
Listen, to fix the problem, give me a head-banded intellect and everything will be fine.
Kenzei's not.
This is quite a conundrum.
Hello, Kenzei Kenway at your service.
Right proper, gentlemen, I am. How is your day?
All right, cool.
Oh, please, do not mind my attire. It's been a while since I was at the cleaners recently.
I'm sure we can all resolve this like gentlemen. Okay.
Get Max. Well, I dare say this is some proper poppycock. Come back here so you can get a right proper thwapping.
Poppycock. All right. In the story so far, you rescued Ronan Kenway from the Cold Man and his imps, and after thanking you for saving his wife and daughter, he told you he was considering retiring to Cholt to live with them in peace. When they were gone, you gave the warehouse a thorough search and found a crate of sunshine which apparently hadn't been sold yet, and a list of distributors. You also found a scrap of paper which matched the scrap Jean Lemore found at the Blushing Mermaid. Putting them together revealed that Kindness was involved in some kind of operation to do with turtles. This seemed to send Marker spiraling into emotional turmoil, of which he credited the Cold Man's particularly malicious words. It didn't appear to comfort him much that, according to Kenzei, his older brother may harbour resentment towards Testudines because of an event in his early childhood in which a snapping turtle bit him on the penis.
That's a new word.
Nailing the lid back on the crate to prevent Gennaro from stealing the sunshine, you left the warehouse, but not before Marcus set the building ablaze. A plume of smoke billowed into the sky as you walked calmly away, but Jean Lemore did carry Freddy's body out to make sure he received a proper burial. Although ultimately when you gave him to some fists and paid them a huge bribe to take care of his body, you still couldn't be sure they weren't just gonna feed him to rats at the Shrine of Suffering. Nevertheless, you moved on to see Captain Zodge at the Sea Tower of Baldurin, Alina risking arrest yet again by using magic to inflict minor mischiefs on Flaming Fist guards. Luckily, nothing serious came of it, so you made it to Zodge and gave him the sunshine and the list of distributors. He was impressed and paid you for the drug bust, but let you keep the deputy badges since you said you still have work to do in ridding the city of cultists. If a 10-day passes without any more cultist murders, he'll pay you the rest of the reward money. But at that moment, it was time to go shopping, so you sold most of your treasure at the bank and purchased a bunch of useful magic items at Sorceress Sundries, Ethel displaying her dubious haggling skills in the process. Then you headed back to the Blushing Mermaid to attune to things and take a short rest. While there, Jean Lemore, Ethel, and Marker informed Nine Fingers Keen about the death of Freddy, Percival, and Edward. She was greatly displeased, but appreciated your respect and the fact that you said that you put on a tribute show for them, not to mention the poster marker design for the event, which touched Jean Lemore deeply. After resting, you went to the Low Lantern in Greydock to investigate Mortlock's claim that his brother Amric was the one who'd commanded him to recruit the dead 3 cultists. But when you made your way down to the second deck, you encountered Rhea Mantlemorn, who said she'd escaped the Flaming Fist and had actually come to the tavern for the same reason. Amric, she explained, is the son of a powerful woman named Duke Thalamra Van Thampa, one of the Council of Four, and, according to rumors, Thavius Krieg, the High Overseer of Elturel, was spotted recently in the Upper City in the company of some private guards in Duke Van Thampa's employ. Unable to get into the upper City due to being a fugitive, and uncertain whether Krieg is the Duke's guest or prisoner, Rhea came to speak with Thalamra's son Amric, yet discovered he has a spine devil for a pet. This gave her pause since she recalled the cultist letter from Elturel, signed with a Z, or a Z, which she'd identified as a symbol of someone called Zariel, who she referred to as the Archduke of Avernus. So she decided to hang back and watch him for a while instead. And apparently while she watched, she saw a messenger deliver a magic-looking tetrahedral stone to Amric, which he's been staring at for some time, stroking his moustache in thought. Not wanting to reveal her identity to everyone in the tavern, she suggested she guard the exit while you approach Amric to investigate further. And that about brings us to now. So, what would you like to do?
I don't know. Last time we came up with a pretty solid plan. A bean in the
would
drink
probably
cannot
kill
go wrong. You know
either
the saying.
none of us or all of us at the same time.
What was it? The bean gambit?
Yes.
Alina's still outside.
That's because Alina fell asleep.
I explained to Adrian that it wasn't because she was tired, she was feeling sick, so.
Yeah, all good.
Right, buddy. I see no one. I see myself.
Oh yeah, just go into that square there, and it'll take you down into the bowels
Wait,
of
guys, wait for me!
the ship.
On!
And then go down there. There you go.
Okay.
The realism on the skeleton is very off-putting.
The cake?
Yeah,
The cake
apparently it's a cake.
Yeah, the cake.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Okay. I do not think the bean in the water would be ideal, unfortunately, Ethel. What do you all think?
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I think we might need to have like a bean pause thing, like something that we had to discuss it before it's used, because it's going to somebody's head, and I just kind of like nod my head over towards her.
Indeed. I feel like someone might be a baked bean.
So, I've heard this phrase before, but I don't really grasp what the meaning. So what you're saying is we need quintessentially nuclear launch codes for the beans, then, correct? Keys for said things.
Okay, you and Ethel are not allowed to hold the beans.
We could do a hand signal later, but maybe not the time right now.
Come up with an elaborate series of hand gestures to say that we're going to try to feed someone a bean.
That would be amazing in like a close quarters, like.
Just an interpretive dance. Or I'm just gonna yell Ramses, open the bag and throw them all in the air.
And watch as the world explodes.
Fuck, I didn't have time to review the beans actually, so whatever you do.
Yeah, I'm letting the beans thing go.
I had a note like
ruin your
review
life.
the beans.
Review the beans.
It's like there's so many possibilities.
All of them are bad for someone to eat. Every single one.
Like, if I recall, all of a sudden a mummy appears and it's like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't.
It's the
suggest
perfect plan, but you know we can save it for another time.
Leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I like look around, the guy who has the, I can't remember what type of geometric shape he has. Has
Like
he
a
noticed that when we came in?
Three-sided pyramid. He, from where you are, he doesn't appear to have noticed you. This guy up here. He's kind of just, yeah, from what you can see, he just appears to be sitting here. He's dressed in all black, wearing a cloak, a high-collared cloak. He's very tall and thin-looking. He's got black hair, and he's just stroking his black goatee, his arms across in front of his chest, and yeah, he's just kind of sitting back in this couch and just staring at this thing on the table. Very suspicious-looking, and he's got this spined devil, which looks very much like the spined devils that you saw in Elturel, but it looks bigger, like it's like a mature spined devil, perhaps. But he doesn't appear to have noticed. But there are several other individuals in the room who are kind of glancing over at this large party of mismatched individuals who have come down the stairs.
I'm going to act like I'm not with the party and kind of make my move just to the right.
Okay.
I think. Oh,
Yeah, I was just gonna pull my hood up on my cloak that I just got and attuned to, which I'm excited about, and kind of do the same. Move, Kensei. I couldn't move fast.
act like you're not, and then you just say his name.
Quietly, I like shoved it. I'm gonna like chill on this couch.
Cool.
Is Stromo able to recognize, like, what he's holding in his hand? Like, has he ever seen something? Like, would he be able to recognize it?
You probably have to get a little bit closer to see it, but well, Rhea described it as a tetrahedral stone. You may remember in when you were leaving Elturel that you found a similar-looking stone on Volus foot. It sounds very much like the sending stone that you have. You could make that connection, I guess. It's like a three-sided pyramid, and she's kind of saying it looks sort of magical. But yeah, you could probably make that connection.
Mark might ask. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mark might ask Mortlock if he's seen the overseer around his brothers or his home. Has he been like? Is he a prisoner or is he a guest? And also ask like Rhea, how would you describe the overseer? Is there any features or a way that we can identify him?
So Mortlock's like, what's an oversneer?
Oh no.
I'm like, I'll just pat him on the shoulder. Thanks, Morlock. It's okay.
But Rhea is like, oh, yes, the Fabius Krieg is, relatively old man, balding, and I imagine would be dressed in expensive robes and things. I mean, he's the High Overseer, but yeah, an old balding man, a little bit stocky. I would certainly recognize him if I saw him. I'd point him out to you. But I haven't seen him around here.
Would you say he's like her age, just pointing at Ethel?
Oh, no, not that old.
Wow.
All right.
She says, oh, my apologies. I do not mean to offend you. I'm aware that you're a half-elf, and Fabius Krieg is a mere human.
I nod and clearly don't believe her. Like, okay.
All right. So, anyone have any immediate ideas?
I'm gonna look around. Is anyone on Sunshine in this area?
From what you can tell, it doesn't look like it, actually. You don't see any golden light shining from anyone, or any golden veins sticking out of anyone's arms or anything like that.
Cool.
Mark will look to buy a nail as well.
All right. So at the bar, you encounter this Kenku bartender, who just says in what sounds like the voice of a young human male, "Drinks all round for the party goers," and then goes like, "Ah!"
Where's the party?
"In a faraway land, there was a hard-working washerwoman." This like beautiful singing voice comes out of the Kenku's beak. And then it's like, "What beer would you like, sir?"
The house special would be great, thanks.
And then it opens its beak again, and you hear the sound of a very young girl say, "You're special." And then it begins like pouring this beer into a large wooden mug, and it serves it to you, and asks you for 4 copper pieces.
Great. I'll hand over a 5 and
It's like,
that is a little tip, yeah. And no, they'll just hit my ale at the bar for a bit.
just make sure you update that in your inventory.
Yep.
All right. Without any immediate kind of like ideas. Orlok, you want to confront your brother?
Well,
I'm a little bit scared. You want to go first?
what?
When we were growing up, he used to always give me a whooping, and I'm a bit, I don't know. Maybe if you lead, and I'll follow.
All right.
What if, do you think if I pretend to be some sort of powerful cultist who can do some trade with him, maybe we could get some information about this Krieg fellow
Rhea says,
before we kill him?
I have heard he's a money lender. Perhaps he would do some kind of business with you in that relation. She kind of looks you up and down, though, says, I can't say whether you look like a cultist or not. No offense.
Oh, darling. cultist comes in many shapes and forms. Do not fear. I can convince him. And he brings out this little red silk handkerchief that he's like taken from one of the cultists, and like waves it around and puts it in his wraps it around his neck.
She kind of smiles, says, "Ah, good. I have no doubt. I would like to see. I would like to see this."
All right, you know the phrase to if you get too deep in Hot Rod, and I'm just for the purposes of that, I'm just gonna hold an action. If shit goes down, I'm just gonna immediately dash into combat, going. Mine.
Well, just so you know, you can't really hold an action outside of combat, so you'd still have to do that in initiative.
Okay.
But-
Just say, me and might just say something, and we'll just kind of just rush it over.
Okay.
As in, I should say something peanuts or something.
Rem, just say oh, my colleagues Ramses will kind of have more details. We'll just come running in.
Okay.
What does a ram say?
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Whispers he's walking by. You might want to leave Clancy.
Well, I was thinking maybe Clancy could play my
Terrifying
boss.
Reds.
Well, the guy has a devil. I just no reason why cultist has a skeleton.
Yes, you see, it is very terrifying, no? It's very
I'm just gonna
intimidating.
put my head down and put my hand on my forehead, shake my head I don't know.
I think that
If
is
anything, if anything, that's a good indication that you are begun to I think which one was the Lord of Bones? God, Lord.
Oh yes, which one is the Lord of Bones?
I think it was
Merkel, yeah, or Merkul. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Merkul. Very good idea.
Merkul.
Merkul. Ah yes, Merkul.
It says in the book to say Merkel, but I'm like, there's something about that which
That's
just
Merkin.
it doesn't instill fear in my heart. Merkel. Merkel, the Lord of Bones.
Merkel.
Everyone aware what a merkin is?
Yeah.
Oh, we both know that Merkul mustn't use a Merkul.
Merkel, disguiser of bones.
I would like to put a wooden dragon mask on Clancy
Okay.
to make him seem more mysterious and intimidating.
Okay, you can do that. This guy
And I know-
this guy standing here kind of he's like a bouncer, you figure. Sort of watches you as you go past what the going on here? But he doesn't do anything. You figure they've probably seen a lot of dodgy individuals coming in here. But he just keeps an eye on you.
I know I can't actually hold an action, but I'm just getting ready to cast some magic missile from a distance if anyone attacks anyone. Just watching like a hawk, absolutely ready to attack.
Very good.
So, I'm going to whisper to Alina as I pass by, and I just say, do some reconnaissance, and I'm gonna walk behind Maka and bump him, and then just act like I'm already drunk, and just say, "Get out of the way, you stupid reptile!"
Oh my god.
I consider attacking.
Oh my god. Alright. Announcing Lord of the Bones.
Well, I'll say also when you do that, that maybe this individual here as well. He's like this really big guy with like a red ponytail, and he's kind of like sitting on the bench at the end of on the seat at the end of this bar, but kind of like facing out. He's like sort of surveying everything. He keeps turning his head towards Amric. And when you kind of bump into Marker and make a bit of a commotion, he sort of turns around, has like a very sort of like irritated look on his face, like, who's this? Bloody
And
drunks.
sorry, go ahead. Yep, I'm going to be swaying, and I'm going to shove Maka and try and make a big show of it for the 2 bouncers to try and draw them in.
Give me a performance check.
Can Marka actually roll with that as well? So maybe with the to help him out.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when he pushes, I'll play along like a soccer player.
Yeah, you
my
can
shell!
feel free to roll again.
Roll, but
Gennaro. All right, so like you see both of these bouncers, they look over, they take notice, and maybe this guy over here kind of moves over a little bit. But nothing happens other than that, but they're definitely paying attention to you.
Okay, I'll just like clumsily throw some like gold coins at the Kenku and ask for a drink yeah. the Kenku, it's Kenku, right? The bartender.
Yep. Yeah, you would
and then
recognize it.
ask for a drink, and then as soon as I get it, I'm gonna try and pull and walk to the other room, trying to just make a big show of things.
It's like
And maybe one final shove on Maka as I walk by.
it opens its mouth and you hear this.
Cookie jar. Sorry.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying, it just sounded on the background just like so questioningly and just so judgmental, like you're getting caught with the hand in the cookie jar. Sorry, keep going.
This Kenku is like, it looks pretty cross. It's like, "Rah!" It like opens its beak and you hear this sound of like, ching, 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 like sword fighting come out of its mouth. And it kind of like bends down and like picks up these coins. And then sort of like shakes its head at you like,
And I will raise the glass and like do like a faux kiss to the air, and then continue to kind of walk this.
it would have to. Did you
holding the button?
Did you? It hadn't poured you a beer yet, so I don't. You could probably reach it and.
As soon as it's down, then I'm tossing more than it's worth. How much approximately would it be?
It's like 4 copper pieces.
All right, so 1 silver would cover that.
Yeah, that'd cover it.
Yeah, I just toss a silver and I blow a kiss, and I stumble through. I'll probably.
It opens its beak and you hear like a crowd of people clapping.
Mark is like, someone can't hold his drink tonight.
And then you also see the Kenku like sort of do that thing where it like points 2 fingers at its. It sort of like indicates to these bouncers, like points 2 fingers at its eyes, and then points like 2 fingers at Gennaro as he walks away. And this guy over here, he's going to sort of move down, kind of pushes past Mortlock, and he just kind of takes a position here at the. Well, maybe he pushes past you as well. He takes a position over here, kind of leans against this wall, and just keeps an eye on wherever you're going.
In saying that, once Gennaro moves across, Mark will like to move across one bar stool closer to the other gentleman.
Okay.
To that one, yeah. And sort of see if he can get his attention, and just ask him, do you get many of these drunken fools around here this time of day?
He kind of looks over at you, like seems a little bit irritated. He's like, "Yeah, of course we do. It's a pub."
I'm like, what are you drinking? Let me buy you a drink.
I'm a little bit busy right now. If you don't mind, I'd rather not.
Are you sure? But it's a pub.
Just go away, would you? I'm doing something. He kind of tries to wave you off and like turns back to like to watch like Amric.
I tell you, okay, busy day then.
It's always busy.
I'll just let him be now, and then we'll go back to my ale.
And his voice sounds like he's like a really big dude. He looks like he's probably like 7 feet tall or something. And you're kind of surprised that he has like a fairly almost like a bit of a meek kind of voice. And what are you doing, Jean Lemore?
Okay, so Jean Lemore is gonna enter this area and sort of, whilst bowing, speak to Amric. Bonjour. We have heard of you, Amric Van Thumper. We are envoys from Merkel, and I believe we may have some interesting things to discuss with you. This is my captain, skeleton man that, as you can see, is terrifying, and we've had to disguise. But yes, we come from Merkel with news.
Give me a deception check.
Oh, a deception check, you say? Well, I can certainly provide. Here we go.
So 15. He kind of like looks up from this tetrahedral shape, kind of stone on the table, looks over at you, says, good day. What can I do for you? You say you are a worshipper of Merkel, is that what you said?
Yes, indeed. Merkel, my bony lord. What a wonderful god we have. As you can see, my captain here is of the boniest type, and worships him dearly. We have some. Have you heard of these cultist deaths recently?
Cultist deaths, you say? Oh.
Yes.
No, can't say I have.
Oh my! You are behind on the news. Oh goodness, no! What is this for the leader of a cult? I have information for you. If perhaps you have some information for me.
What kind of information are you after? And who are you saying is a leader of a cult? Are you a cult leader? Are you?
Well, I have my little faction, and we do our part. I'm just starting out.
My business, my trade, is a simple money lender. So of course, I can help you with that if you would like. But otherwise, perhaps some information could be worth my while if you seek to trade. I'm always open to new avenues for business.
Oh no, we are amongst friends, and he like holds out this like red silk hanky, and he's like twirling it around, like you see, and he says, yes, but yes, what say your trade? I tell you what I know about these cultist deaths, and you tell me what you know about High Overseer Krieg.
High Overseer? Interesting question. Tell me, where are you from?
I am from the land of Merkel.
He raises an eyebrow. You are from the land of Merkel, you say? That is very interesting. Where might that land be?
The Germany? What Germany?
Merkel is the president of Germany.
Oh my god, of course.
I'm in so much pain.
Are you telling me that you're some kind of plane shifter? Planeswalker, as they say.
Well, we don't want to. I don't want to talk too big of it. But yes, I've been practicing. My captain here has He is very powerful, and he has been helping me. I may come from a plane far from here, the German plane. Don't know. Maybe you have heard of it. We call it the Land of Bones because the Land of Merkel. Just it's a nickname.
As you're saying that, this spine devil, purple-skinned winged creature with spines sticking out of its back, it kind of like hops off the back of this couch, and it's holding this trident, and it's kind of hunched over, but sort of walking with this trident. And it kind of like moves over to here, and sort of like it doesn't get too close to you, but it sort of leans its head forward a little bit and kind of sort of sniffs at you. But Amric says,
Probably. I probably smell very sweaty.
it sort of draws back suddenly. And Amric says, I see. Fascinating. Well, I must say, unfortunately, I have never heard of this individual of which you speak. What did you say their name was? His name? Her name?
Devious Krieg.
Yes,
I'm
no.
sure you know.
No,
He
never
was-
heard of him, I'm afraid. Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, I see now. See, I have heard of your family being tasked with the role of secreting Devious Krieg. And if I report this back to Merkel, I don't know if he would be very happy if, you had no idea what was happening, if Devious Krieg was just missing from your family home. So maybe you would like to tell me what is going on.
He takes his boots off the table at this point and sits up and then sort of leans forward. And he kind of looks at you in the eyes and holds his gaze for a moment, and then he kind of like gives you a smile out of one half of his mouth and says, "Listen, you seem like an interesting fellow, but I'll let you in on a little piece of information. Merkel is, from one cultist to another, in my view, very much a lesser being than the being that I personally, owe my loyalty to. So, I don't really know what you're getting at, but I am not concerned about Merkel's opinions."
Lesser being? Lesser being? Who could be greater than Merkel? Oh no! You must tell me. You must tell me who this is that you serve.
You seem to be asking a great deal of information. Perhaps if you would like to have a more detailed conversation, you will have a drink with me. He kind of raises his hand and like looks over at the Kenku bartender and sort of like indicates for him to sort of waves him over. And you see the Kenku kind of like pour some drinks over here and kind of approaches with a couple of ales and hands you one. And, well, hands Amric a whiskey and hands you an ale. And kind of just goes like... Amric's like, "Yes, put it on my tab." It's like...
Well, thank you. This is so kind.
And he says, "Cheers from one cultist to another." And
Okay.
drinks the whiskey in one go.
Did I
He
notice?
might be pulling a beans gambit on you.
Yes. Well,
Back your
okay.
drink for beans.
Jean
reverse
will
bacon.
exactly. Not like we'll observe Amric's drinking his whiskey, then he will look very carefully for beans or other foreign items in his table, and then sniff it as well with his like very good sense of smell, and will attempt to like side drink some, like pour it but not let the beer into his mouth.
Okay. Give me a perception check for this sort of looking around, looking at the drink and sniffing.
Do I get advantage if I sniff it?
Yes.
Yes. Oh.
Aw, you're having a rough.
Oh. It seems good.
It smells like a tasty ale. You find yourself actually quite parched, and that you don't detect any beans or any other strange things about this ale.
She tries
Question.
to. Sorry.
Marco. Whilst in at the bar, would Marco notice the bartender do anything different to any of the drinks?
Let me see. What's your 16? I don't think you would notice anything in particular that would give you pause. The Kenku sort of, if you're looking...
Like how he poured... Yeah.
Yeah, you might notice... Let me think. 16. After he pours the ale... So you can see, I guess, Amric kind of waving him over. Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Because he did pour myself a beer before as well.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if there was anything different to what he's... did, in the process.
Okay, maybe give me an intelligence check with advantage
Okay.
to represent the player's intelligence. I'll say that you notice that after he pours the beer, he actually lowers it below the counter, and that's where he appears to pour the whiskey. And it does seem a little bit strange for a bartender to you.
Okay. Okay, can I... Okay, so I still got my ale. Is it possible if I can order another ale? Cool. I'll hand over the...
It opens its beak. It's like, "Excuse me, sir. I'm ever so thirsty." And it pours you another beer.
No worries. So I'm going to make my way to Lena now. I'm going to grab her by the hands to, like, if she accepts, to go for, like, a dance. And as we're walking around, I'm just like, just go with it. Just go with it. And I'm going to, like, we're dancing along, a bit stumbly. Oh. And as I pass John Lamore, I want to, like, swap the beer, the ale.
Oh,
You probably should let me do that, but I don't know what's going on, so I'm just going with it.
Yeah, so I want to rephrase that. Accidentally knock it out of John Lamore's hands onto the floor.
My beer!
Knock it out. Oh, so
Wait,
sorry, sir.
Give me a slide of. Well, yeah.
No, I want to knock
if you're just
it out.
doing it openly, you're knocking it out.
Yeah.
Give me a performance check to see if it looks convincing that this is an accident.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it and be like, "Oh, why are you always so clumsy?"
Oh.
It's a -1.
19. I'm gonna let me just try this. I just want to see. Whoa.
Ah!
All right, yeah. Well, let's say that you kind of you do this pretty convincingly. You like knock the beer out of Jean Lamore's hand. It kind of like smashes. Well, it'd just be like a mug, so it just like falls to the ground, kind of splashes this spined devil here. It kind of like jumps back a little bit and then kind of, like kind of moves backwards a little bit.
I'm so sorry, sir. Like.
My shoes!
No, can't take it here, please. Please, please take this ale.
Oh, wow.
And then I'll just make my way back with Elena.
So clumsy. Just so clumsy.
Dancing. Just like clumsy.
That's right,
And
you
I
better run.
Don't step on my toes.
Amric watches this whole event, and he's got like an eyebrow raised. Rizzed. He's got an eyebrow raised, kind of watches this whole thing, turns back to you. That's a shame. Here, I'll get you another one. He indicates for another drink, and again you see the Kenku kind of pour this ale and then lower it behind the counter and
Wait, do I
brings
see
it
that?
over again. You
I'm also gonna ask Malachi what's going on.
I think he's bugged it. JL's drink.
Okay.
Jean Lemore, your perception. Where am I? Did I already? Where am I? 11. I'm going to say you. Give me a perception check, just to see.
Can I add my inspiration? I have an inspiration.
Yes. Yeah, you can roll with advantage.
Perception. Okay. Perception advantage.
Oh my goodness.
Really?
Yeah, I'll say that you don't notice. Partly Clancy's standing in the way. And so you, but you know, you may have noticed Marker kind of bumping into you, coming out of nowhere and sort of bumping into you and then leaving again. I suppose, I don't know, if you know that he's an ally of yours, it's up to you whether you think that Jean Lemore would find that to be characteristic of Marker. But nevertheless, this Kenku hands you another mug of ale. Yes, put it on my tab, I told you already. Now go back, Rat Squeak, and continue serving the customers. Thank you.
What? His name is Rat Squeak?
Oh, yes. How ironic.
Well, that's interesting.
We only call him Rat Squeak, of course, because his name is rather the sound of a rat squeaking.
Interesting that you think so.
Anyway, drink up. I don't do business with individuals who won't share a drink with me.
Okay, so Jean Lemore has both mugs in his hands.
Okay. Okay.
So what he's gonna do is, well, I think he'd be pretty sus.
I have a game question.
Mm-hmm.
Does prestidigitation clean up poison from a drink? Clean it from a surface.
I mean, you would have to cast a spell to do that.
That's fine. I'll openly cast a spell from here. I have no shame.
Technically speaking, what the spell you're looking for is purify food and drink. Cleaning is just meaning kind of like literally cleaning up a splotch and making it clean, not like purifying or
Just
X-naying the poison.
Yeah.
That would be like prestidigitation was already good as is, but now it can clean poisons?
Just curious. Okay, I'm just gonna say to Malachi, like, oh gosh, your shell is just not shiny anymore. Let me fix that, and I'm gonna cast prestidigitation, but on the side of the cup, only Jean Lemore can see. I'm just gonna put put the word on the side of it like poison.
Ooh.
So, okay, when you do that, both of these bouncers, they immediately turn their heads over to you, and this guy over at the bar, stands up and steps over to here. And this Kenku is like, "Wah!" And this person over here stands up as well and kind of walks over to here and goes and sits down over here. These two people move over to here when you cast this spell.
Don't like my magic.
And Amric looks over as well. He's and it says to Jean Lemore oh, somebody is casting spells in here.
Marco would like to say, oh, thanks for cleaning my shower for me. Sorry, what was your name again? I missed it before.
This guy, hearing you say that, he kind of takes a step back slowly, sits back down on this chair. But he's kind of while he's looking at the situation with Amric and Jean Lemore, he keeps kind of like looking back at you as well. Especially you kind of bumped into him before.
And every time he turns around, Mark will like raise his drink at him and nod and have it finish like a beer.
Baka, Kensley gives you a very Kenway look, and it's just like definitely of a person who is, I would say, ready. Like he was ready to throw hands.
Okay. Well, okay. I guess I see this little word poison.
What? So as in marker? Well, you wouldn't be able to see it from where marker is. You wouldn't be able to see it there. So this is like some stairs, and these walls around the stairs kind of go up to the roof of the boat, and then also this is like a big pole, and then obviously there's couches and things. I don't think you'd be able to see it.
I put it on her cup. On the side of her cup where she could only see it.
I'm not sure you can write. I'm not actually sure. Sorry, what spell are you using?
Pretty sure you could prestidigitation.
I don't know if you could write a word.
Image. I had to.
I don't think you could write a word because there's a spell that does that. There's like I forget what it's called. That would allow you to actually write a word, and because of that, it leads me to think I don't think you could probably do that with prestidigitation.
You said you can color, mark, or a symbol appear on an object surface more than for an hour?
Okay, I'll just do like a skull and crossbones, like the symbol for poison then.
The only problem is that prestidigitation only reaches 10 feet.
Oh,
so if you want to target the mug, you'd have to...
Oof.
We need to go for a dance, Elena.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I assume your name's Elena.
Of the many names.
I did ask you a name before. You do look like an Elena.
Yeah. You guys are telling me that this is better than the Bean Gambit.
All right,
Believe me, I'm in so much pain right now.
Jean Lemore, what do you do with this drink now? Amric is watching you very closely at this point.
I am suspicious of the drink, but I know which hand it's in, so I'm gonna offer the drink to Clancy. So, ale for you, my grandmaster, and I'll sort of whisper in his ear, like, drink this drink, because he needs to do what I say.
Oh, crumble through.
He's wearing a cloak, so hopefully it doesn't show up too clearly that he's.
Looks like he peed his pants.
Yeah, as he starts drinking this ale, the ale just literally pours out of the bottom of him on the ground. It just makes this puddle of water that he's standing in. Amric raises an eyebrow. He's like, "Do you not want to drink with me, my little friend? I do not even know your name. What did you say your name was?"
Jean the Terrible. And I'll drink heartily from my mug, which is from Marker.
Says, listen, I have things to do. If you have nothing specific, perhaps we should spend a little time apart now.
Oh, but sir, and I'll sort of have a bit of an affected, slightly more drunken tone. But sir, you say that your lord is so much greater than mine of von Merkel. I'm very curious now. I would want to know. I would want to also partake, even. If he is really greater than Merkel. And you seem to have this incredible creature over here, and this interesting sending stone in your grasp. You're such a powerful man. I wish to be like you one day.
Because he raises his eyebrow. He's getting a little bit frustrated. He says, "Listen, I'm not interested in having a debate about whose god is better than whose. We are all free to worship as we choose, as you know, my friend. But seeing as you seem so curious, I will say that I have some affection for some individuals of the lower planes. I'll say that much, from one cultist to another.
Oh, yes, the lower planes. I have been there on my holidays. It's fantastic.
Ah, yes,
yeah,
that is
yeah.
right. A planeswalker.
Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, tell me more. Tell me more. How did you get to where you are? I should take notes.
Listen, I'm a busy man. If you would like to borrow some gold, I can of course arrange that for you. But otherwise, perhaps we should pick up this conversation later.
Okay, well, I suppose it was very nice. Thank you for your time. But perhaps we should leave you. And may we meet again. I am Jean the Terrible. This is Clance the Magnificent. And you are?
I am Amric Van Thamper.
Van Thamper. You know, I also have word from another Van Thamper. A Mortlock Van Thamper. Yes.
Indeed.
Clancy. Yes.
Wait a minute. Don't go. You say Mortlock, you say.
Yes. Mortlock. We have come across him.
I see.
Yes,
what
he's
would
your
that
beloved
ugly
brother.
What would that ugly old fool be doing that would have anything to do with me?
Oh, he speaks very highly of you. He says you're a wonderful brother, very smart and very, very powerful.
Indeed.
That is, partly why we know what to come here. He's around. Actually,
He looks around. He kind of pokes his head up when you say this and looks around, but doesn't see Mortlock immediately. Says, he told you to come here, did he? My brother, Mortlock. How interesting. But why would he do that? Why are you so interested in learning about me?
What about a little helping out? You tell me a bit about this Thavius Krieg, and I give you a little more information about the Mortlock.
Listen, I told you, I do not know any Thavius Krieg. What is it you want?
Jump here. Kenway's had enough.
What does Ken?
No, but we're so close to this almost working.
Kenway, I was trying so hard. Kenway literally just goes out, all right, game time, Mortlock! I'm just gonna go. A fighter can only waste so much time.
Game time, Mortlock.
Yep.
And what do you do when you do that? I mean, are you attacking? Like, are you drawing your weapons and stuff, or are you just sort of walking out?
I just appear. I stay. I look at him, kind of like I don't want to say menacingly, but just very, very annoyed at the circumstances of a lot of stuff that's going on, and I'm just looking at him with daggers, and I'm walking towards him with the Kanabo.
So you have your Kanabo out?
Yep.
All right, let's roll for initiative.
Left or right, Maokai? Because I have a feeling these guys are thugs.
Listen, I wanted you to keep going, succeeding, but this does not seem to be going in circles.
Ooh, Clancy.
And we're gonna see now if this. Wait, where is my character?
This whole time, I've been explaining to Rhea a very complicated magical Dewey Decimal System.
She's just looking quite confused. She's trying to follow on. She's like, magic has never been my strong suit.
So, Adrian, because of the weapon warding, I should technically have advantage on this, but I guess Foundry doesn't register that.
Yeah, I mean, it won't. There was no way for me to just give you advantage at all times that I could find. So yeah, just
How do I re-roll that then?
Just roll it again, and then if you get higher, just let me know, and I'll update you.
All right. I'm waiting for now the dice to clear from me because I'm trying to click on my. There you go. Let me. Where is? Where am I? All right. We'll just do a D20. I don't think it matters too much. Roll. Oh, way better. Okay, so technically Kenway's initiative will be an 18.
Get out of here.
18. Okay.
Well, John Lamar, I'm sorry, but I think it looks like you might be heading into Danger Town.
Way.
Okay, so you walk over here. You call out to Mortlock. You're holding your Kanabo in your hand, and as this happens, well, this guy Voltus, I guess if we're starting initiative here, he's still kind of sitting here, but he begins to kind of stand up, and perhaps reach for something, and as does Amric, and we'll begin initiative here. But so Amric stands up and he draws this long dagger, and he just says, who is this? He says this to Jean Lamore, and then he looks around, he says, Mortlock, where are you hiding? Who are these individuals you have brought to see me? And he, at this point, pulls out his dagger. He's going to ready an action. And he's just kind of, well, no, I think he just kind of stands there and basically dodges, I think. He's kind of waiting to see what happens, waiting to see kind of who comes out of this bar at him and what exactly is going on. He's a little bit confused. Jean Lamore.
Okay. Jean Lamore, what was my plan? I probably want to Misty step away, but not... Okay, so Jean Lamore's gonna say, just tell us what you know, and we won't hurt you. And Misty step away. Let me just...
Tell us what you know. Whoop.
But tell someone else, because I'm
guy
out of
will
here.
beat your ass.
30 feet away. I'm gonna... oh, jeez. It's all terrible. I'm gonna go next to Marco. Hello.
You wouldn't be able to do that through those stairs, I don't think.
Oh, no, I can't Misty Step? Like,
Actually, can you do that through something? I forget how Misty Step works.
it's
You teleport through... Oh, no, yeah, oh, no, you have to be able to see the space that you teleport to, though.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll just go, here? Where the... Oh, God. Okay, fine.
It's because these are walls, so you can't go through the walls. And this is a big, like below the ship's mast, like a big post.
Okay. Well, maybe I won't Misty Step. I will just, walk... I'll just come here and maybe blow my pipe.
Okay, so you're gonna
To
pull
someone-
out your...
Oh, yes. So, yeah. Pull out my panpipes and blow my panpipes.
All right. Swarm of rats. So you blow your panpipes, and everyone sees a whole bunch of rats like climbing out from like little holes in the ship and from under the bar, and like one from under this table and one from under this couch where Alina was sitting. And they all run towards you, Jean Lamore. And do you choose where they go? Probably.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it doesn't say.
They kind of culminate in a mass of rats here,
gross.
just all kind of squeaking and kind of snarling. And I'll add them to initiative.
Oh, okay.
I mean, feel free, without, just because I don't want to read this entire thing, feel free to put them where you would like them.
Okay.
What do we got? I'm trying to see what the... 0.5 miles?
Oh, they come from half a mile away.
my
right. Right.
Come, my pretties, come.
And Jean Lemore is going to be like, surround that man and don't let him leave. Don't let him move.
Okay. I guess I better read this. So you just tell them what to do, is it? Rats, swarm,
yes.
charges, it calls, swarm of rats.
Friendly swarm obeys your commands.
Okay, obeys your commands. Cool. Alright.
Oh, while you are playing the pipes, you can make a charisma check contested by the swarm's wisdom check. So I'll make a charisma check, and you will do a charisma check. And if I lose...
Yep.
and then that will determine whether the swarm is friendly.
Friendly to you?
To me, yep.
Okay.
Otherwise, it won't really do anything.
Okay, so the rat is making a what check, sorry?
Wisdom. I think it's in the thingy.
Are you reading the last part of that?
I'm reading sort of like the second paragraph. Oh, sorry, the third paragraph.
Yeah, it says when a swarm of rats that isn't under another creature's control comes within 30 feet. So, like, if another rat comes within the territory, you have to now take control of those ones. I don't think it's the ones you've summoned originally.
Yeah, it would be a little silly if you had a pretty strong chance of summoning an angry swarm of unfriendly
Yes. Yeah.
That feels like a bad note.
Okay, that. You could summon a swarm, or if a swarm comes within near you, you could use your action to try to bend them to your will.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well.
Okay, so you've told this thing to basically not let Amric leave. So it's basically going to hold an action to attempt to kind of climb all over him and grapple him, essentially, if he tries to run past it.
Yeah.
Elena.
I'm going to be thoroughly grossed out and like get onto the table and hold the dodge action. Just like, oh, because I was not expecting rats and I don't like rats.
All right.
Basically on top of Makai because I can't stand anywhere else. I'm on the table.
Dodging. Okay, Kenzie.
Oh, this is going right proper, isn't it? Sorry, I'm trying to look up something real quick. Because I have an idea now, but I gotta make sure I got this correct. Let's see, different speeds, different terrain. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Sorry, I'm trying to look up something real quick. Oh, dog's barking, hold on.
Are you there, Ryan?
Yeah, sorry, I was just like, things were going on my side. Alright.
Okay.
So, I thought of an idea. Idea did not really want to work out too well in my favor. So, I guess I'm going to move over to here. Oh, that's going to be flanking though. Hold on. I'm going to be over here instead. Because that way I won't have too much problem. And, oh fuck, what do I want to do? I guess for the most part, I am going to. Man, no one moved. All right, I'm going to look over to Jean Lemore, and I'm going to say to you, "Move." And I'm like eyeing both you and Clancy, and I am then going to attempt to make a shove attack, trying to knock him prone.
Okay.
Alright, this one I'm going to do. It's going to be a strength athletics check.
I did move if that was a concern of yours from my original position.
No, he's well. You are where you are, right? He's
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just I'm still saying get out of here. More of what I'm saying, because I'm going to need space for what I'm going to be doing, and it's more of both you and Clancy, really.
Yep.
So
So
yeah,
give me an athletics check.
Oh, I thought I rolled.
Oh, did you?
I didn't roll. What the hell? I didn't roll. I clicked it. Athletics. Oh, there we go. Normal.
Yeah, you try to shove him, and he kind of he sort of what is it? Athletics, I guess. Yeah, he kind of gets his boot into the leg of the couch here and sort of uses it to sort of leverage himself, even though he's pretty skinny, sort of lanky dude. He kind of pushes back against you, and you're unable to shove him backwards.
That's all I can do.
All right, Gennaro.
Okay, I'm still gonna act like the drunken idiot. This guy is not in combat, so I'm not an opportunity to have I walk away from the bartender or the bouncer, right?
The bouncer is standing there, very alert now that there's something going on, and has a mace in his hand. You don't have much more information than that.
Okay, well, I've been talking to him drunkenly the entire time, so I'm just gonna keep talking and be like, you need a Pegasus chariot, because then you can avoid all the streets, and you're just so much more productive. I don't care how much it costs. Keep mumbling, and and as I kind of step, I'll see if there's an opportunity attack. I'm gonna walk.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything when you do that.
Okay, and then I'm going to keep mumbling to myself, and then I'm also going to use a sorcery point for a subtle spell, and I'm going to cast Levitate on the unknown creature there.
Which one?
It just says unknown creature in the combat tracker.
Maybe just ping on the map. I don't know which one's unknown for you.
The one next to the Kenku.
Oh, this guy?
This one?
Oh yeah, sorry, they're all unknown creatures. The dude there, yeah, the one I can see right there.
Okay, so con save, DC 15. Ooh.
Wow.
You kind of focus your energy on this seat, but he's sort of he's kind of looking it over you because you've made this racket, sort of talking to this bouncer, and he's been distracted and kind of looks over at you, and he sees you casting this spell and sort of.
Oh, sorry, I'm doing subtle spell on it.
Right. Well, he still looks over at you and sees you cast. I mean, okay. Either way, you fail to make him levitate.
Yes. Okay. And yeah, I guess I will end my turn.
All right. Okay. At this point, Mortlock is going to run over, and he's going to dash, and he's got as he runs past you, Marka and Alina, you can see he's actually got tears in his eyes, and he kind of pushes past this guy, who is kind of not in a square. I'll say he's there. And this dude, yeah, he just comes to about here, and he's kind of yelling at Amric. He's like, "You tried to murder me. You never liked me. You always said I was ugly and beat me up, and now you try to have me murdered." And he doesn't do anything else. Well, I guess he's got his great club out, and he's going to kind of ready in action to take a swipe at anyone that basically attacks him. Luna.
I'm gonna keep her with me until I know who's actually attacking who, because at the moment I don't think I know who's good and who's bad, other than Amric.
Okay. All right. This spined devil is going to jump up on this table, and it moves over to you, Kenzei, and it's going to attack you immediately. It's got multi-attack. It reaches out and tries to like bite at you as you're kind of shoving at Amric. And misses you. And then... Okay, yeah, then it tries to like swing this fork around and kind of stab at you from the side. And that one looks like it hits. For 3 piercing. And Ethel.
I think I'm going to move over just a little bit. And then just... Does that mean I have line of sight on our bad guy? On Amric?
It's pretty hard for you to see from there, but are you doing magic missile?
No, I was just gonna ready a chill touch for when he attacks.
Yeah, you can probably just see him like over all of these
Actually,
other people.
I don't think I need to see him. It just says on a creature within range.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
What was the trigger, sorry?
Just when he attacks anyone.
Okay.
I'm
Alright.
also still confused about who we're fighting, so I think I'm just in the back. I'm going, oh, okay, I'm not explaining the Dewey Decimal System anymore.
Clancy doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Cat.
Cat's also gonna stick back here. I don't know what's going on yet.
Alright. This dude, kind of like as he was standing up, although he didn't notice it happening, this kind of magical energy just kind of like flew just behind him just as he was standing up, and just by accident just seems to like kind of penetrate the chair. And the chair starts like floating up behind him just as he's like standing up, and he's like, what? But as this happens, he kind of like swings around and he sees Mortlock run past him, and he's going to take a swing at Mortlock with his mace. And he hits him for 8 bludgeoning. And he's got multi-attack. He can make a couple more attacks, so he's going to do that as well. He just sees this guy running at Amric. At least that's what it seems to be. Jumps up as this chair floats and just goes...
And that will trigger the lug too.
Yes.
Reaction.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't put a thing on him. So he, when he's getting attacked by this guy, obviously turns around to face him and takes a swing at him. And, ooh, crits him.
Hooray.
Whoop, hold on. Let me do that again. That's a bit better.
Better.
Just like hits this guy in the shoulder. He's like, whoa! Bloody hell. Rhea. Rhea's not a person. Rhea's me.
That's some good role playing there. Like, your own creatures.
Such a good role player that I forgot that it wasn't me. Rhea is just going to... She just steps over to here, kind of like kicks this bar stool out of the way, and she draws out a heavy crossbow and notches it and takes aim. Yeah, no, okay. She'll fire at this guy that's attacking Mortlock. Even though she's just met this guy. What's happening here? Oh. Okay, bear with me. Okay. And hits this guy in the back. Okay, Marker.
Okay, Marker will like to make his way over to the bar, and as he sees this like stool levitating, he wants to put 1 foot on it to climb up on it to jump on the bar as well. So as he sees the floating up to make it, and then to run along the bar.
It's like Super Mario or something.
Yeah, like super into that position.
Yep.
If that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, and you'll like to say to Amric, stop this bloodshed. We don't need this. Tell your spoke, you fool, to back off. and tell John, he was about to say, John the Terrible, the information he needs to know.
Okay, at this point, Amric, he sees Mortlock running at him. And he says, Mortlock, my brother, protect me, not them, and I'll talk to Mother. Convince her to let you come back home. Betray me now, and I'll have you hunted down and killed like a dog. And I'm going to roll a persuasion check for him. And I'll give him... What's his persuasion? Okay. I'm going to give him advantage because he's trying to convince his brother. So he gets a persuasion of 13. And while he's saying this, he pulls out with his other hand, he's holding a dagger. He pulls out this little kind of pouch-like thing. And it's just this like, kind of little... I don't know, like what it would look like exactly. Just this little sort of like... like a little pouch. And he just like smashes it down on the ground. And as he does this, all of this smoke comes like billowing out. And I believe it's 10 feet. And all of this smoke just kind of envelops everything for 10 feet. From here. Oop. That's not what I wanted to do. Here. 10 feet. And so everything in that circle is heavily obscured. And then he is going to try to run in this direction. That's going to be fucking hard for me to get out.
Also, that would trigger the held action on the rat wherever he moves.
The rat can't see him, though.
Well, neither can him.
Sorry?
Yeah, well, neither can them. Neither can him.
Can they smell him or hear him moving? Can you smell him moving?
Potentially. It's I'm gonna say, unless it has, let me see. Actually, it does have keen smell. There's advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell.
He was drinking whiskey.
I mean, it can like, this swarm can smell him kind of running across, but it can't see him well enough to attack him. He's going to be able to get at least to here. I think he's going to try to push past Marker. I'm going to say he can go here. But obviously now everyone can see him. And so Mortlock has used this reaction. I suppose when he's here, this swarm of rats would be able to... Oh no, because it is in darkness, so it still can't see him. He's going to kind of make it to here, to the bar, but he's kind of stuck at that point. Jean Lemore.
Alright, John Law going to run down here and tell Clancy, follow me, Clancy. Oh, sorry, 1 second. And crap. Okay. And then yeah, so he was holding his pan pipes. So I guess he'll have to put those away and take an action to bring out a sword. And whilst holding the sword, he's gonna hold it at this thug in front of him and say, tell your boss to give up the fight.
Okay. And when you do this, I'll have this guy reply immediately. He says, well, that's not my boss. I'm just a bouncer.
Oh. I've misunderstood everything.
Anything else?
Oh, well then I guess my fight is not with you. And then I'll turn around and face Amric. And yeah, I'll stay here.
Okay, so this swarm of...
Oh shit, I forgot. Can I say that? Rats! Clancy, come to me!
Yep, that's alright.
Okay.
Okay, so this swarm of rats in that case is going to... Where am I? Ready to action. It's going to come over here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And it runs after you. And it's then just going to ready an action to bite anyone that attacks it, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Oop. Okay, Elena.
I saw Amric leave the smoke and stuff, right?
Yes.
I'm just gonna yell out that he's trying to escape, block the exits, and then move. How far is this? Down to here.
You...
I'm gonna hop off the table, so probably here.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Yeah, okay. Yep.
And then just hold an action to stab him if he comes this way.
All right. So readying an action to stab him. And what is going on with this mount up thing? Is it giving anyone else warnings when, like, Alina, when you move around, are you getting this no mount with reference or something?
No.
Okay. Might just be me. I'll try to resolve that. Okay, Kenzie.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, oh, I need to select. I'm going to attempt to get out of here.
Okay.
So, okay. Next up, so 5, 10, 15, 20? No, of course not. Sorry, 25, 30, right? I think that'll work. 5,
Yep, that works.
15, 25, 20, 25. All right. I am... Oh, hell.
Perhaps you could make use of the Dewey Decimal System.
What?
Sorry.
Right. I am then going to use an action to dash to get over to here. I am then going to, now that I've broom, I am going to then use a bonus action to go into Giant's Might. Where is that? Oh, that's in that. Why am I thinking here? There we go. I need Giant's Might. Usability.
Okay.
All right. Seeing him escape. Oh, hi Kenku. Seeing him trying to flee, I am going to attempt to hit him.
Okay.
And I'm going to attempt to hit him with a Kanabo.
All right.
My weapon of warning Kanabo. All right.
Can I just give you my 20 for that? It's important. I feel like I want someone to hit someone. You just crit this time.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you what do you have to do to give somebody a portent?
It's like nothing.
It's nothing.
It's not even a reaction.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. So, giving out the natural 20, I am also then going to use my fire giant rune. Where is that? I'm back into my inventory.
Wait. Where's the natural 20? Oh, sorry. You automatically get the natural 20 from. Gotcha. Never mind.
Yeah. So I'm going to use the fire giant rune.
Okay.
So he must make a strength saving throw of a 13, and I will roll damage. Oh, fuck. That's not me. Oh, wait. Oh, he's restrained! And he will be burning!
Okay, so what
of his turn.
So what happens,
So
sorry?
he will take a lot of damage. Take a lot of damage.
Just immediately?
Wait, no.
Target takes extra 2d6 fire damage. Okay.
So let me go to here, and then I will be also doing 2d6, and this is the crit.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, I forgot to add in the Giant's Might damage too. So I get to add 2 more d6 to that.
Nice.
Oof.
All right.
And on his turn, he will be taking a further 2d6 fire damage at the start of his turn, and he is restrained. I got your ass for 3 minutes.
If the first hit is really scary, does he give up? That seems scary. Let's give up now.
coming out from the smoke of his bottle. Kenway with a fire and vengeance going, no, you stay here as the smoke ignites with fiery change that wrap around his pockets.
Nice. All right. Gennaro.
All right, and I'm going to drop the act and yell out, "Sorry, Maka, for the roll."
Maka gives him a thumbs up.
I'm going to twin Tas's Mind Whip on the two guys in front of the Kenku.
Okay.
So saving throws DC 15 intelligence on both of them.
All right. Intelligence is low. Intelligence is low. Okay. So I think I also have a. I think that's nice.
You just once and then do a book to both of them, I assume?
Let me see. Is it just kind of one? Because you're just twinning it?
Yeah.
I always forget how this works, but you're doing it.
We can do it for ease right now and then figure it out later.
Yeah, because if you're twinning it, you're basically. Yeah. Okay, we'll do it for ease right now and figure it out later. I've looked at that before. I should remember by now. But anyway. Anything else?
No. Now they both can't take reactions until their next turn, and then next turn they must choose if they get a move, an action, or a bonus action, and they only get one of them.
Awesome. These people are fucking locked down. Okay. Mortlock's turn. I'm going to take the average of everyone's persuasion checks trying to prevent him from joining with his brother, and since nobody tried to persuade him, he kind of hesitates for a moment as he's swinging at Voltus. And he looks over at Amric and he's like, "What? You promised that you'll talk to Mother for me." And he turns on you, Marker, and swings at you with his great club. "All I want is to be let back home." And he misses you, but he's going to take another swing. And misses again. Okay, Luna.
I'm just gonna fly in, provide help to on this guy, the close one, because this guy's Amric's basically fucked.
Okay.
And just fly her out again.
All right. So Amric. Okay, right. So it'll be the beginning of these. Okay, so this thing is like in this kind of smoky darkness. Can't see shit, but it knows. It can hear, so it is going to sort of creep out of the darkness, and it's going to creep over to here, where it can see you, Marker, and it's going to try to. Oops, sorry. It's going to try to bite you, and that one hits for 5 slashing, and then it tries to stab you in the side with its fork. But misses. Ethel.
Now I'm gonna chill touch Amric.
Okay. Would that have been... Were you holding the chill touch before?
Yeah, but it was for when he attacked, and...
Oh, and he hasn't yet.
Yeah, he did a smoke bomb, but I don't think that counts.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what you said, but yeah, probably.
Well,
Ooh.
you also had advantage on it because he is restrained.
Oh, okay. That's fun. I do. I miss it.
No.
I just, I keep talking about my magical Dewey Decimal System. I think Ethel hasn't talked about anything about the library in a while, and so she's like, so yeah, all of the divination stuff, it's in 908,042, and you see, that makes so much sense.
All right. So Ethel's muttering to herself. Clancy he's going to run over to here. He's just kind of following you, John Lamore.
Yep.
The smoke is still here, so Mortlock is unable to see him. Run over there. And Cat.
Well, I think the cat's gonna run over to Mortlock, but I don't know if I can make it there. I'm gonna use a dash, so that's 80 feet, so I think it should be fine, right? There's so many people here.
Maybe?
Does this
Yeah,
count
yeah,
as difficult
probably.
terrain? Because no, this person is another square, right? This person right here. That's a different square.
Yeah, you can get past them. It's alright.
Luna's in the air.
15, 20.
Like, this is hard because I can't even tell where these people are.
Like you can't see them?
No, I just I was going through the squares and I was like, are you in the square? I can't tell. But yeah, I'm gonna be just fine making it over.
I feel like a lot of bouncers are just like hugging the wall, going, "What the fuck is this shit?"
All the bouncers
Yeah,
are
pretty
like,
much.
this is
There's,
more than I'm
like,
being paid
They're
for.
hiring chains.
I get
There's
minimum
mind
wage.
whip.
I can't care about this.
I'm getting paid near enough to deal with this.
And then I think the cat is just going to be a really cute cat to Mortlock as a reminder for you should be on our side, and then also maybe be enough of a distraction if anyone chooses to attack him.
Let
Or
me
can I
see.
pick one or the other?
So when Amric threw that smoke bomb, that was when he made that argument, wasn't it? And we were in round 2. I think I fucked up. I think it was I think it was supposed to be the end of the full round.
More like third round.
Well, it was just the beginning of Amric's next round, probably, because I wanted to give everyone an opportunity to persuade. So I fucked up because I did it. You know what I mean? So
I was going to ask you when.
He's on the
we
verge
wanted
of
that
like
group chat.
relining. We might be able to fight with it if we come back to Maka's turn, maybe.
yeah, Marker, what was the full damage that you took? Do you know?
A 5.
5.
Oh no, that was from the demon or the thorny creature on the top. Yeah.
I think did he miss?
Did you?
Oh, he missed. Yeah,
Mortlock
Mortlock
missed.
Yeah.
Okay, good. We'll say that he swung at Voltus instead and missed. He's looking. If you don't mind me retconning it because I fucked up. He's looking like at this point very sort of unconvinced about exactly what he wants to do. He said what he said. He's like, I just want to be let back in the villa. And yeah, he's looking very bordering on switching teams maybe. Sorry about that. Okay. Voltus. So what happens to Voltus now? With this mind whip, he has to make a decision between movement and attack, and
Movement, movement, action, or bonus action. One of those 3.
okay. All right. Well, he is going to attack someone, and it's going to be Mortlock. So he's going to multi-attack him. So he swings his mace at him a couple of times. Misses. Hits. Just as Mortlock's like standing there, kind of like doing the Darth Vader thing of like looking back and forth between like Amric and Marker. You know, like when the Emperor is like fighting Luke Skywalker. Anyway. And then just kind of takes these hits from like Voltus, and Rhea at this point has heard this order to block the stairs, so she moves over to the stairs here and kind of like yeah, she'll stay there, and she's going to ready an action and sort of drops the crossbow and draws her longsword. And Marco.
Oh, Marco would like to let Mortlock know. Look, we came across you in the sewers. You were on death's door. We helped you kill the assassin then down there. We've shown you companionship, and we've been loyal to you.
All right, give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, persuasion. Yeah.
I kind of gave up the gig there.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Say again.
Can the cat be giving help for persuasion? It's being so cute.
Head bumps to
Fighting
the
the
leg.
innocence that he has.
Oh, so when you were saying that it's trying to help, you meant to give the help action. You meant to put the help action on Mortlock? Maybe I didn't understand.
Yeah. I said that it was going to be a distraction by being really cute, so that could be a double whammy for it. We're
I'll say
swayed
because
more
we've
than-
already. I'll say because we've already established that Mortlock is susceptible to cat cuteness. Yeah, Marco, go ahead. You can have advantage.
He's got a history.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right, 13. Okay. And you can do that for free.
Okay, cool. And in the same time, as I'm talking to him, just use my staff and like smack this thorny demon in the head.
Okay.
Remember the times we saved your life? Whack, whack, whack. Just like we're trying to
Yeah.
smack a demon.
It just sort of like dodges out of the way shrewdly.
End turn.
All right. Okay.
So he will take 2d6 fire.
Takes 2d6. Oh, where am I? Okay.
10 more fire.
And does the fire continue? Just continues? Or does
Yeah.
it disappear? So it's the
It
beginning
lasts
of
for
every
a
turn?
minute.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of like cries out as this like flame that's this sort of magical flame on him is sort of getting out of control, like burning his cloak and his hair and shit. Like, and okay. So he's gonna make, what was the persuasion check that he did previously? I can't fucking remember.
It wasn't good. It wasn't that good. What
I feel
was
like it actually was 13. Should have written it
I think
down.
it was 13 as well. Yeah.
All right. So in that case, Mortlock seems like pretty unconvinced at this point by Amric's persuasions. And yeah, he's like, oh, but you tried to kill me. Fuck you. I'm not joining up with you. I'm sticking with these nice folk. And Amric will...
It look like you're dying.
Amric will make a decision to use just his action, and he's going to attack someone. I think he's actually going to go after Kensei because Kensei is giant and has been hitting him. So he's got his dagger in hand and
So he
2 daggers.
makes attacks at disadvantage because of restrained.
Nice. Misses. And that one hits.
Yep.
For 7 piercing.
Yep.
And one more disadvantage.
Right.
It was 3, wasn't it? Yeah. That one hits as well.
Yep. Yep.
So, Jean Lamont.
Okay. Jean Lamont is going to tell the swarm of rats to go and attack this guy.
Okay.
They can squeeze into where a tiny rat could fit. So not sure if they could surround him maybe.
It says they can occupy another creature's space and vice versa.
Okay, that's
So
good.
yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
And then Clancy, actually, yeah. So Clancy, support the cat. And sorry, I moved Clancy. And then I'll come over.
Oh, you can
here
get rid of the.
and
You can get rid of the mind whip effects, by the way.
Oh yeah, sweet. Thanks. What does support the cat mean?
That's a good spell.
back up the cat.
Defend the cat.
Defend the cat. Defend the cat.
Good.
Okay.
And I'll come over
At all costs.
and maybe sing to Mortlock a nice song of Mortlock.
So all of a sudden we start hearing.
I like how the bard has become the summon class.
Da-la-la.
Everybody underestimates the bard until he starts summoning rats and skeletons, and then that's where things take a turn.
All right, this swarm of rats just like goes charging along the ground and runs all around this cat, which is probably interesting for the cat. Several of them kind of like look up at this cat as they're like running past. But then they turn back to Voltus, and they are going to try to run over to him and bite him. And
They have
they
advantage
have
because
the
of the help.
Yep.
Oh, that's very good. Never mind.
Still miss.
Wow.
No. My beautiful rats.
He's kind of like kicking and sort of dancing and like kicks one of them across the room. It like hits this bouncer in the head, like, whoa! Alina.
Okay. I feel like that whole area is just a big old pile of clusterfuck. And I feel like I'm back in the hallways of the bathhouse. I'm gonna continue to hold my action and just yell at Mortlock like, family doesn't try to kill you ever, and his companion still hasn't tried to stop killing you, as you can see. So he truly doesn't mean what he says. And I'll just continue to hold my attack action if he decides to somehow get out of there, which I don't think he will.
Okay. So you're just holding your...
My stabby stab.
Okay. All right. Kenzie.
First off, I'm going to use my bonus action to go second wind. Healing. Yes, please. Alright, fine. Apply. Not apply damage, apply healing. And then next up, I'm going to attack the restrained asshole.
Okay.
So I will have advantage.
Does the restrain also last for a minute?
Yes.
Nice. 24 definitely hits.
Like, yeah. Let me do the damage, and I will. So that'll be normal. Oh, add. Shit, I forgot to add 2 because it's not counting the dueling fighting style. By the way. So it technically should be 10 damage.
Okay.
My bad. Yeah. Features. That will be the end of my turn.
So the Kanabo of warning should just always do an extra 2 when you're attacking. Is that it?
Yeah, when I'm attacking one-handed. Yep.
When you're attacking
Yes.
one-handed. Okay, cool. Plus...
Yeah.
All right. That should hopefully do it now. Okay.
All right.
Gennaro.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So at the end of his turn, he should be remaking the saving throw of the strength save. I do apologize. I thought it was just for a minute.
Okay, sweet. All right.
Yep.
Save. What do they need to beat?
That.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so you had advantage at him. That's all right. He was like in the middle of breaking out and was pretty distracted, so you were able to get a couple of clear hits at him. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, Gennaro.
Alright, I'm going to cast Firebolt since he already is having flames and he doesn't seem to enjoy that, so I'm just going to pile more on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, his ignition stuff will be gone too.
Oh, sweet. That's a miss, unfortunately. It, like, nearly hits this Kenku. Like, jumps out of the way and, like, kind of, like, crashes into these barrels.
My bad. And, yeah, I'll just end my turn with that.
All right. So Mortlock is going. He's just full of rage now at his brother, and he just lets loose on him. And that hits. 5 bludgeoning. What's he got? 2 attacks. Okay. So blind with rage that the second one is just hits air, basically. Amric sort of like moves slightly and he misses him. Luna.
Seeing that Malkai's getting attacked by that nasty thing, I'm just gonna, you know what, just fly over there and provide the help and then move her back out of the way.
Okay. All right. This owl just like flies seemingly out of nowhere and just sort of scratches at this thing. And it's like trying to wave it off. But it is then going to snap at Jean Lemore. And try to fork you as well. Looks like that one hits. For 2 piercing damage to Jean Lemore. All right. Ethel.
I'm a firebolt Amric.
Okay. It is like very quite difficult for you to see him from there. That's still going to be a miss. Unfortunately, it's really hard to get at him. Kind of hit this bar here.
I yell out an apology to the bartender.
Actually, hold on, because if you're kind of attacking from here, I guess you can go over this table. The bar's all right. Okay, wait, actually. Okay, no, sorry. I'll say that's a hit.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to argue with you.
That's my arm, DM.
Oh, no, I hit him. Oh, no.
Nice. He's like, oh dear, I just got this fire off of my cloak before. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
He probably sounded a little bit more stressed than that, I guess. Okay, Clancy.
Clancy is protecting the cat.
Clancy's protecting the cat. So Clancy is going to step over to here, and it drops its short sword, pulls out its short bow, and it's going to take a shot at Voltus. And hits. 5 damage. Kind of cries out as he's like attacking Mortlock, as this like arrow just goes like into his left shoulder. Cat.
The cat is just going to start like hissing at Voltus just to give the help action on any attacks.
All right. Okay. Yeah, Voltus is going to attack Kensei.
I thought you were going to say the cat for a second. I was like, I really have to stop putting my cat in the middle of these battles. While I stay all the way back.
Wait, that was 17 to hit.
Sorry, I don't know. I was listening to Ethel and I wasn't paying attention. Okay, that one misses, but he's going to make another couple of attacks. Okay,
that hits. 2 damage.
18, 4. And that one misses. Rhea is going to continue doing what she's doing. Marker.
Okay, Marker would like to say to Amric, you still haven't answered Jean the Terrible's questions yet. It doesn't look too good for you. And he's saying that he would like to wild shape into an ape as well.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a bit spontaneous. Oh, and apes are a medium-sized creature, so it's just...
So it's fine where you are.
Yep.
That was going to be my question. Okay, sweet. What's CR as an ape? Wait, hold on. Actually, I think I can search for it. There you go. Ape.
Half. Yeah.
This must be a deeply strange fight to witness. We got a rat. Oh. We got a skeleton. We got an ape.
That's it. Okay.
Ow. Oh my god.
I didn't use a token.
An ape, a skeleton, a swarm of rats, a devil. This is probably not the strangest thing this bar has seen over the years.
It sounds like a joke. They will walk into a bar. Okay. First attack for the ape, attacking the spiky demon.
Okay.
He would like to attempt to shove it prone on his first attack. Would you like a strength?
So what does it do? It's the fist, or is it the... how does it... Oh, it's just... Sorry, I thought it was like part of an attack. So it's just shoving you.
Oh, no.
Or shoving it.
Yeah, so Yeah, that's
Okay.
combat action. Just to shove
yeah,
it prone.
give me a athletics check. And it'll try to sort of weasel its way out of it. Ooh. Oh yeah, you you can have advantage.
Oh yeah. Oh geez, but okay.
You
Athletics.
got this. Oh, I thought you were gonna get it too.
Oh,
Yeah, it shrewdly ducks out of the way again. I'm not sure if you're on
Okay,
mute,
no,
Jean
just-
Lamore. I thought I heard you say something from the other room, but I can't hear you on the mic.
Oh, that's it. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Sorry.
that was his first attack. Second
Okay.
attack as well. Shove it prone again.
Okay. 16. All right. Nice. It dodges out of the way, but the second time you just bring your big ape hand down directly on its face and just like push it right down to the ground. Like, phew. Okay. Anything else?
And in turn. No thanks.
Nice. All right. At this point, Amric. He is going to disengage, and he's going to try to run over here. 15, 20, and he's going to sort of squeeze. He can squeeze through here between. Does that make sense? I guess if he's disengaging, he's just gonna he'll sort of he kind of like jumps up on the couch, kind of like runs over to here. He's sort of like standing on the couch. Okay, Jean Lamore.
Okay, John Lamore is gonna summon another swarm.
Can you have two at once? Probably. I don't know if it says that you can't.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's just like 3 a day.
Called swarms move toward the music. It seems like it. Okay. Are there enough rats on this ship? We'll say yes. This is a very old ship. It is rat infested.
Excellent.
And another swarm converges. Feel free to move that where you would like it to be. You should be able to
I
control
think
it.
that's a good place for it, actually. And I'll tell it to attack this spiny beast. And then I will go. I will, what do you call it? Tell Amric, give up what you know, and we can come to some sort of agreement. And I will viciously mock him.
Okay. Looks like he's mocked. For some reason he finds that very disturbing. He's like, I would never give up what I know. I'm known for having tight lips. Tight-lipped Amric, they would call me. How dare you? Anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Okay, this swarm of rats is just still attacking Voltus, was it? I forget specifically what it was.
I think so. It was. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Sorry, ignore that. Got the wrong thing. Okay, going to try to bite Voltus. And
Just have advantage for the fish.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
cat
okay,
advantage.
nice.
It's like covered in rats.
Yeah, they're just like climbing up his legs and up his pants and stuff. It's like, get it off me!
I see the ape moving.
It's like, ooh. I don't know what does an ape do. It doesn't. That's a monkey. Okay, Alina. I guess it just goes like.
It's been quite the eventful fight over here. I'm just gonna like casually walk myself over to the bar.
Pour myself a drink.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
nobody's
sit
looking.
down, reach over the bar, and grab a drink. Use an action to grab a drink and sit down.
Okay, you can do that. I'll say this Kenku is actually lying in these barrels here, so you can do that.
Beautiful. And
It
I'm just
just
gonna
kind of, like,
raise
looks
a
at you
glass
like, what the
and say
fuck?
like, if you weren't so big and in the way, I'd be able to help, and just take a swig.
Kenzie.
All right. So this is gonna get interesting. So I've done. What am I doing?
Crushes the cat.
It just steps on the cat.
So
Wow.
I think I can make it there.
Yeah, it seems alright.
All right. Gonna smack this guy.
Okay.
Sorry. Use that already, so we'll use this one, and we'll use an attack. Normal.
That hits.
All right, cool. I forgot to add so damage. So we'll do plus 1d6 plus 2, and then normal. Because keep forgetting to add the giant's might damage.
Alright, so 8?
Yes. Wait. Add 1 to there because it. What happened is you changed my strength modifier to the damage to a 3 to a 2, so that's the issue.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because it calculate the bludgeoning damage as 1d8 plus 2 plus 1d6 plus the 2. Should be 3.
Oh, I see. So that's the +3, but then I was trying to add the plus. Oh yeah, because it was plus mod. But you also get the +2, right? So it's +3 +2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now it should work. All right. So add 1 more damage, was it? Fuck, I'm so lost.
Yep. So 9 damage.
Okay. Okay. He's looking pretty bloody. I'm pretty stressed. Anything else?
No, that is it. That's all I can do.
All right, Janara.
I will walk next to Alina here. If I can, just step onto the bar.
Yep.
And in order to be able to get a better vantage point on Emmerich there.
Yep, just
Is that
difficult
chair
terrain
still
to like,
levitating?
climb up to something. Probably. I guess so. How long does it last? Oh, well,
It's a concentration.
It's concentration, so
Okay.
probably by now. Well, it's up to you, I guess. It was really just a bit of flavor.
Yeah.
Is this at Voltus, was it? Or
Emmerich.
oh, at Emmerich. Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to look over above the pile of people by getting on top of the bar.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll say you can get like a clean shot at him from there. That hits. All right. Just getting like firebolted and trying to get away from it, and you just follow him and just relentlessly just keep like, just like fucking hell, like trying to climb up on this couch and get as far away as he can, but he can't seem to get away from you.
Yeah, and I will you know what? I won't do anything with Alina. I'll just step down and end my turn.
All right. Mortlock. He's engaged in combat with Voltus, so well, yeah, he's gonna swing at Voltus. And hits. Just smashes him in the head a couple of times. And just heaps of blood just goes like splashing out all over the cat and these rats and all over Clancy's face. And this dude is like not looking good now. He's just getting pummeled in the head by this like spiked club. And then the rats, these rats are going to attempt to like bite this spined devil, and they'll have advantage. And so they just sort of like climb all over it just after it's been like pushed into the ground. And they manage to...
Yes. Oh, yes. That's damaging.
They're like biting into its wings and all over its arms and stuff, and it's like... Luna.
Fly in, provide help to anyone who wants to hit Ambrick.
Okay.
We go.
And okay, this devil sort of like pulls itself up, and tries to like kind of flap around and swipe around and get these rats off it. It's gonna like turn and try to strike at the rats. Tries to like bite one. Misses. And then it tries to like whack at one of them with its fork. And that one hits it like
just boogie woogie.
And it just like catches a couple of these rats. Oh, it just catches one of these rats.
One rat. One rat.
And again, it goes like and like flies over and hits Kenzei in the face. Not in the face. Just not in the face. You're too big for that, probably. It just hits you in the thigh.
In the forearm or something.
In the forearm.
No, Barry.
Does it have like a forked tail? Is that what you're talking about when you say fork, or is it carrying around a fork utensil?
It's carrying around like a weapon, like a pitchfork.
I just think I want it to be like a kitchen utensil, like just a normal fork. And that's pretty fun for me.
It's like,
Yes,
It's just a little tiny, so it looks like a big weapon.
Oh, I just remember though. Actually, this damage from the swarm of rats. As you're watching it and you're like, "Ooh, that's gotta hurt." You're kind of like, "Hey, I mean, it looks like pissed off, but it didn't seem to hurt quite as much as I would have hoped." Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm gonna move
yep.
up next to Alina. Ooh, can I make it into like this space right next to the bar? It says I'm colliding with a wall.
Yeah, try just using the arrow keys, and you might be able to get there that way.
Or do you like? Can you just hit the arrow keys and move your person?
Yep. Yeah, while it's selected. Yep. You can also use WAS and D.
Wow, amazing. Incredible.
The more you know.
You learn something new every day. And then I'm gonna chill touch the.
You've made a fatal error.
She'll touch this guy?
Yeah, the spine devil.
Oh, the spine devil.
This guy.
Okay.
I think I can reach him if I'm squished into the corner here.
Yep. He's a little bit difficult to target around the ape, but 16 hits.
Hey. Beautiful.
Necrotic. Yep, it kind of hisses.
And then I think I'm muttering, and now I'm pretending like I'm talking to Alina, and I'm just like, 30 years, the system worked great, and then Mildred beat me for head librarian, and she had only been there 5 years. It was ridiculous.
I feel like at that point you just wipe the bottle that Alina's holding. It's just like, and then.
I want to. I was
sorry.
going to say, stealth a hand, take it from me, or dexterity. Check, please.
Just make a sip of the drink. Just like...
Okay, Clancy is protecting the cat. It's going to... it can't really... I guess it can... because the cat's there and everything. Okay, it's just going to it's going to shoot another short bow arrow at this guy and hits him for 5 damage. Okay, cat.
This guy's now covered in rats, right? Yeah? Maybe?
Yeah, kind of. It depends what you want to do.
No, I was just saying the cat's now very invested. Cat's freaking out at this guy, and I'm just going to keep giving the help action on any attacks.
It just wants the rats.
Is it really? Yeah. Is it really on the guy, or does he just want the rats? You know?
So he's just getting like, yeah, just swarmed by these rats and hit by arrows, and this cat is like trying to like swipe at the rats, and it's just also like kind of hitting him and distracting him. He's going to attack somebody at random. Is he going to do a -1? Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so that's a 1. Okay, he's going to attack Morlock again. And hits him. 6 bludgeoning. Keep forgetting 3 attacks. Okay. Hits him. And that one misses. Alright. Rhea is going to continue what she's doing. Okay. Dancing ape.
Okay.
Thank you, ape.
Yeah. With this spiny devil, would like to shove it prone.
Okay. 14. Oh man. It just gets up and then you're like, nope, like
And then follow with a second attack.
okay.
And it's
At advantage. That misses. Just rolls out of the way.
end turn.
All right. At this point, okay, Amrik sort of like jumps down off of this couch, I guess. Well, he's gonna disengage. He jumps down off of this couch. He kind of like backs away into the corner. He's like, oh shit. He's like, wait, all right, I'll talk. Stop attacking. We can have a conversation like adults. Jean Lemore.
Ah, wonderful. Okay. Everybody, be still. We shall discuss what we need. And he'll come over and call off his swarm and Clancy.
Okay.
And
Okay. So both swarms?
yes. Both
What
swarms.
do you say to them? I guess you've just sort of said everyone stop attacking.
Yeah, stop attacking.
Okay, we can say they all take that as a command, and so they just kind of, the rats kind of like back away, move over here, sort of like eyeing the cat a little bit suspiciously. Alina.
I'm gonna just get up and walk this way. What's that? 10, 15. And stand behind this guy and kind of just like push my sword into his back and hold my action
Okay.
to stab if he moves.
If he moves. All right, Kenzie. Attack! You might be on mute, Rain. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I muted myself. The dogs are barking very loud. I didn't unmute myself. I want to move forward and I want to kill the demon.
Okay.
Let's see. Attack. Advantage. Because of prone.
That's a hit.
Damage. And it's
Oh wait,
fixed.
you're sharing a square though with Jean Lemore.
I'm only momentarily going to be sharing a square. I'm not going to end my turn there.
You can't attack from a square though. It's end your move, not end your turn.
All right. I'm going to push Jean Lemore out of the way. I'm just going to walk over. I'll just use my action to shove Jean Lemore out of my way. I'm going to leer over the demon and like just kind of like just look at it menacingly as I next turn going to then start wailing on it.
So you can, if you want to shove Jean Lemore can essentially like play along, I would say. How does that work? I mean, yeah, so it'll take your action, I guess, and then I don't know. Yeah, I guess Jean Lemore, you can use a reaction, I'll say right now, if you want to sort of like allow him to kind of shove you, and you can kind of go there if Kenzei uses an action to do it. If you want. Otherwise, you can resist. Up to you.
I think John Lamore will be sort of standing there, like no, nobody, everybody, stop moving. He doesn't. He doesn't really want to fight. So I think it will. You'll have to like battle me.
Cool.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you can do that if you want. That's up to you. I would otherwise say that you can just not be pushed. That's fine. But if you want to do a bit of PvP, then feel free to do a contest.
Do you want to do like a thingy, a roll, Kensei?
Yeah, I'm rolling. I'm hovering over the button.
Okay. Which one do I do?
So
athletics or
acrobatics? And Kensei does athletics.
Okay.
Advantage?
Come on. Because of Giant Smite, I have advantage on strength saves and checks. And it doesn't matter.
Best roll tonight, too.
It's a demon! A demon! We killed those things! We killed a bunch of him! He said he will stop fighting. This thing said no such regards. Back up because John Lamore doesn't want to do anything. What do you think I do? Fight!
Oh no.
Also, I don't think you could stand there anyway because there's a dirty great mast in the way. But anyway, it was fun anyway. I don't even know if you could get through there. You'd have to squeeze, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the way this ship works is like a lot of people seem to be squeezing into places that I on a grid it kind of like looks weird. So I don't know.
The NPCs are squeezing. But yeah.
I really want to see like the ship crushed.
Oh yeah, I mean you can kind of like
everybody dies on that side.
Yeah, you just push through the mast and the whole thing like. Jar.
Yeah, so the thought of watching a swarm of rats, a giant monkey, a skeleton, and everyone have a discussion with a guy with a demon, he really wants to take some sunshine. And he's sweating, like his hands shaking as he goes for the bag, and he looks up and he sees these wave of onlookers and just kind of waves awkwardly and realizes he's being watched. So jump the bar, walk over to this guy here, and he'll hold a dagger to him and hold his action and just say, now you can't do anything but me invading your space.
All right. Okay, Mortlock is going to also, he just kind of like holds up his club in the face of this Voltus guy. He's like, ugh. The swarm does nothing. Luna? Does everyone wish to call off combat? Anyone who doesn't?
I think so.
As long as the other, like the bad guys, stop attacking.
Yeah. Definitely hold an action.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say like Kensei. if everyone is happy to call,
I don't really got much of a choice because I'm kind of blocked off from killing people.
If everyone's happy to call it off, then this devil.
Happy, but I'll call it off.
This devil here is kind of like having its head held to the ground by the ape's like foot, I guess, and it's just kind of like, but it kind of like stops like struggling, and this Voltus guy, he like drops his mace and kind of puts his hands up, and will end combat there. And Amric is like, what do you want to know? What is this about? Who are you?
Okay. I have to say.
Do you want to go for? Oh, sorry. I was just going to say. Do we want to go for breaks first before we go into roleplay stuff?
Yeah, we can take a break now if you'd like.
Sure.
All right.
I'm just saying, if we were going to break, that would be a perfect time.
Yeah, if you want to take a break now, it probably makes sense. We'll take a 5-minute break. See you back here in 5 minutes. All right. Has everyone returned?
Yeah. Ooh, sorry.
You better not fall asleep before the end. I've moved it an hour earlier for everyone.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, that's not me tired. That was just me
Bored.
I don't know what happened. I'm fine.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not tired. I'm just bored.
2 pop bottles. With the shenanigans going on, I'm not bored, but cringe meter might have been affecting me.
Yeah, after the 5-minute break, just pick up the Knobo, back into business. Okay. Stretch it out.
All right. So yeah, Amric's kind of cowering in this corner. He sort of steps over a bit. Come on now. Surely we can talk about this. What is it you want to know?
Who do you work for, and where is Thevius Krieg? And what do you know about Baldur's Gate disappearing? I mean, Elturel.
I told you, I don't know anyone by the name of Thevius Krieg, and I work for myself, but I think you better watch your tongue. You don't seem to appreciate that I am the son of Duke Van Thampa.
You do not appreciate the amount of restraint that I have for not crushing your head, and so please correct yourself with fashion.
Give me an intimidation check. I just want to see. Might not have an immediate effect, but
Normal.
Okay.
I hit normal. Oh, come on!
You are pretty big. Mortlock's like, you tried to kill me, your own brother. You sent someone to kill me. And Amric's like, he's like, dear Mortlock, my brother, how could you think that? Are you trying to have these fine adventurers kill me? I assure you, it wasn't me. Look, I have enough gold already from my little operation here. Firstwell's the one who wants to cut you out of our inheritance. You know it's stunts like this that led Mother to kick you out of the house in the first place, Mortlock, you silly fool. And Mortlock looks sort of confused, like, whoa.
Alright. I think we all know we're going with this. Insight check?
You get one more insight check, joke. Yeah, give me an insight check. At disadvantage because you said insight check. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. But next time.
What next time?
So what are you trying to discern exactly?
Like, obviously, does he actually have malice towards his brother because of, like, so far, if it's like actual intentions of like, oh, I really don't, like, from the way that our lovable Lug speaks, he absolutely despises him. Does he appear to have actual malice in his, like, speaking? Like, trying to talk down, like, actually, like, you know, just getting of that fight and stuff like that.
He seems like he doesn't respect Mortlock. He considers him to be a fool. He's talking down to him, but it's not clear that there's malice in him exactly. It just seems like he is one smarmy fellow, and that's probably all you can gather from watching his behavior.
By smarmy, you mean like a good liar?
He seems kind of slimy. Interpret those adjectives how you will.
And he gives loans to people. Yes, okay. I see. So he's full of shit. He's half dead and he's still full of shit.
Well, I suppose I have no choice but to leave my double swarm of rats here. And cause of swarms of rats to accompany you for a while maybe you think about your responses again.
Ugh, rats. Give me an intimidation check.
Ooh, yeah. I'm very intimidating.
He says, "Oh, come now. What is it you wish to know? I told you, I don't know any Thavius Krieg, and what? I have nothing to do with the attempt on Mortlock's life. If you want to borrow from me, we can work something out, but that's what I do here. I told you I am rather committed to my mistress in the Nine Hells. But other than that, I don't know what you're trying to determine."
Which vessel are you working for? Oh, I feel like that's the same question, just different moves.
Yeah.
If you must know, I worship Zariel, the Archduke of Avernus. But that is neither here nor there, for in Baldur's Gate we are allowed to worship anyone we choose. Morlock says, he kind of steps over here, he's like, But you say Firstwell's the one that tried to cut me out of the inheritance. Indeed. You know that weak, slithery, nasty little creep is probably plotting right now to take us both out from Mother's villa.
Be a nice villa.
Adrian, game question.
Yep.
If Marker moves, would he won't provoke a attack? From the or we still semi in combat?
Well,
what I'd like to do is call Rhea over, but not in ape form. I'll transform back to normal.
okay. You can't know exactly whether that would happen or not. You're holding this creature down, and it seems to have stopped struggling, and this guy sort of behind you has kind of put his arms up. You don't know for sure, but I mean, we're out of initiative.
Yeah. So Marker will Gennaro make his way towards Rhea.
This thing sort of climbs up and like shakes its spines, like.
And tells Rhea, now's your time to come and question Amaric with information that you need. He's not giving up any information about the overseer, so maybe there's something else that you'd like to question him about.
Okay. She says,
Take him hostage.
sorry?
Slap some manacles on him, drag his ass out of here.
He says, when you say that, and Rhea kind of nods to you, Marker, and begins sort of approaching. And when you say slap manacles on him, he says again, "Come on now, you could not arrest me. As I said, I am the son of Duke the Lamra Van Thamper. There is nothing you could do to me."
While he's saying that, I just walk over, don't care, and just slap the manacles on him and be like, "Yep, sure." And
okay, so you kind of like force him down and like put these manacles on him.
Yep.
And Mortlock says like, "Well, he's right though, you can't take him to the fist. If the Lamra hears about it, if the Lamra hears about it, she'll have us all killed." Rhea says,
We've been getting through death threats for like all week.
Yeah, story of my life.
Amaric says, "But my mother is one of the 4 rulers of Baldur's Gate, you fool. You cannot arrest me, and anyway, you have not proven I've done anything wrong. It is absurd. I could have you killed for this, or at least banished."
You talk as though we're law enforcement? Motherfucker, I don't give a shit about the law. I'm just getting it because I get the fun job of kicking people like yours ass all throughout Baldur's Gate.
Rhea says, "Well then, Amaric, what is that stone on the table in that case? Tell us about that." Amaric says, "Oh, that was given to me Given to me by my mother. Why? Why do you ask about it? She says, we took it from someone in Elturel. Explain that. He says, I don't know anything about that. It was sent to me. I was told to look into it, to find out who it was who was trying to speak through it. It wouldn't be all of you, would it? Where are you from?
I'm gonna grab the sending stone and be like, hello?
Elturel. So it was you talking through this sending stone.
That's hilarious.
It seems to perhaps be. Why did your mother give you this sending stone? And what did you expect?
I don't know. I was waiting for someone to use it again. The messenger, my mother's messenger, simply asked me to find out who it was who was speaking through it. I didn't get any more information about it.
Fairly linked to the crazy person from the camp. Can I take the other sending stone and I'm gonna bring it to Ethel and be like, just in case you get lost. It's like I've fallen and I can't get up type thing. Here you go.
I glare at you so hard. I do put the stone.
He kind of grimaces at you as you like pick it up from the table, but doesn't do anything.
Fine.
Have it.
Do you know about your...
You're good.
What do you know about your mother and her dealings with cultists?
Dealings with cultists. I don't know anything about that. I told you I am a worshipper of Zariel myself, but otherwise I simply am a simple money lender. If you want to know, perhaps you should speak to her. It has nothing to do with me.
Sure. Can I do a forceful inspection of his body, finding more information, like doing a search on this to see if we can find any other evidence?
Yeah, you can do that. He's like manacled and kind of on his knees. So you give him a search. You don't find anything on him except for this dagger that he has. He's wearing leather armor.
Money?
Nothing else in particular. No gold or anything.
Taking the dagger because you're not going to give him the weapon.
Yeah, you can pull the dagger off him. It's just a regular dagger.
Yeah. Add it to the arsenal.
Okay, I'll do that. Dagger.
Add it to the growing list that is my backpack of weapons.
You, sir, what is your association with this man? Why are you here?
Well, that's me, boss. Of course, I work for him. What do you think? I wouldn't have hardly fought you otherwise.
Well, I see. Maybe you need to also go to jail too, unless you like to tell us some more anything you know.
What is it? What do you want to know?
Does he or his family have any dealings with cultists?
I just work for him. I don't know about cultists. We're just money lenders. It's hard to do that accent.
I feel very doubtful of what he's saying. Does he look like he is lying?
Give me an insight check. He looks pretty stressed out. He's kind of like looking around. He seems a bit confused, and he's kind of stammering and looks like he's struggling to answer you. You don't get the sense that he's hiding anything necessarily.
Okay.
But he says, I know about Amric, of course, and Thalamra, the Duke. They say she worked her way up from the bottom. She used to work in the sewers as a child, but apparently, over time became a lot more powerful. But her son is, just a moneylender, as far as I know. I don't know anything else, I swear. I'm just doing my job. I'm supposed to bodyguard him and keep the money bodyguard him.
And keep the what?
Keep the money. You get over here.
Oh dear.
What do you mean money? What money?
I think that money over here.
And turn him upside down and shake him.
looks awkwardly at Amric. Says, I hold the money. Kind of looks disappointed in himself for fucking up.
Ooh, let's cut up in his pouches.
Stealthily walk over to and stevilly see if I can pickpocket stuff off of him.
I want to pat him on the back and be like, we would have searched you eventually. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure Amric will see it that way. Jean Lemore, you can, if you kind of go through his stuff, you can find this sack of coins. You would probably find it just because you spoke first before Alina would get anything from his pockets. But he's also got this heavy crossbow strapped to his back, and he's holding a mace.
Ooh.
Would Emmerich have heard what Jean Lemore and him said? Can we make a big show of being take his weapons and make sure to search him and give him an out?
Give him a what?
Just give it
an out.
Yeah, if Emmerich didn't hear him say it, we could be we have to search his weapons. Oh, look, there's money here. Wow, crazy.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, maybe he wasn't speaking that loud, from where you're standing, I mean, everyone's kind of involved in this situation. You can certainly do that anyway. And,
yeah, sure.
you kind of look over briefly, you see Amric narrowing his eyes, sort of looking
oh, wow,
over.
money, look at that. Crazy. I can't believe I found that.
Ooh, gold. So much gold.
Yeah, Jean Lemore, you find in this sack there is 150 gold pieces.
Ah, excellent.
Like I said, we're just money lenders, as far as I know.
He seems to be telling the truth.
Amric says, yes, indeed. You see, nothing untoward. We simply have an agreement with the captain, the owner of this fine establishment. She allows me to work from the second deck here, and in return I pay for shipments of wine. That is all. And Rhea says, perhaps we should then speak to your mother. Where does she live? And Mortlock says, "Oh, I can point it out to you on the map. If you want to go speak to her, maybe you could take out Firstwell as well. If he's the one that's really trying to kill me." And Amric's like, "Indeed, it wasn't me, like I said. Don't be so rash."
Maybe we should bring these guys along.
Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to my villa. I'm not allowed to go back there. And Mummy told me that she'd kill me if I went back there again.
Your mum sounds like a dick.
No, well, she just gets a bit cranky sometimes.
Yeah, it's also, we got a person that I absolutely do not trust, and a person that is a lovable lug but doesn't really he's banned from going there. Yes, let's take these two with us and kind of force into hijinks and probably get ourselves killed because, yeah.
We cannot leave this Amric person here. What if he escapes? We have to contain him somehow, or keep an eye on him.
Oh, come now. Why would I do that? This is my place of business, and I have great power in Baldur's Gate. I'm not going anywhere.
I don't think you have a choice.
Do we have anything that we could tattle to his mom about? anything that his mom wouldn't like.
Ooh.
Well,
Ooh, yeah, we shall smart work.
My mother is a busy woman, has other concerns, and there is nothing illegal about my activities, doing money lending and such. You are the ones committing a crime by stealing my gold, if that is what you are doing there. And he's like trying to like look over and at Jean Lemore, like holding this like sack of coins.
Not your gold, it's my gold.
Finders keepers.
That is my employee. He simply holds the gold for me so that I am safe to do my business.
No, doesn't have your name on it.
He didn't look like nervous at all when I said we could tattle to his mom. Just totally normal, like, I have a great relationship with my mom and it'll be fine.
Give me an insight check.
Okay.
Ooh.
It's pretty hard for you to see him from where you are, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't flinch when you said that, no.
Okay.
You didn't see any particular reaction. If anything, he just seems to just kind of smirk at the proposition, like it's a little bit absurd. Rhea says, perhaps with all of you, we can get into the upper city. Like I mentioned, I've been a fugitive and I've been unable to go there. But now we might be able to go and speak to Duke Thalamra Van Thamper in person and see if it is true that she is with Athavius Krieg after all.
Sure, we can do B&E, see what happens.
Can we kind of...
Sure, we can... Sorry, go ahead.
No. I just don't want to leave these guys free.
Did
We
we
can
have
knock them out.
proof that Amric was tied to the cultists at all? Or was that just...
What?
Technically, I think
The sending
I think the
stone,
only-
yeah.
it's technically there's the sending stones and also I think the only really concrete stuff is literally kind of like the lovable Lug's word that he's been with this, but we didn't. I can't recall if we did find any other concrete evidence.
Because I know, like, maybe the Flaming Fist wouldn't do anything, but maybe we could be like, hold on to him for a day. We have evidence. I don't know. Pretend he's not a powerful guy.
We could knock him out and disguise him.
We make him look like a rowdy drunk that we found in the street.
Yeah.
We say, this guy's really crazy. He was spouting stuff about being such a powerful guy in the city. Like, he's crazy. And then if he wakes up and it's like, you have to let me go, they won't believe him.
I have a burlap
You can
sack.
give him a shave and a haircut and like dirty him up.
Yeah.
No, you must not shave my beautiful hair. That is... Don't joke about such things.
You think we're joking?
Now he appears intimidated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, prestidigitation and make him smell like garbage.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Yeah, make him stinky.
Must I endure this nasty business? I have done nothing wrong.
Put the sack on his head and shove something in his mouth. Let's get out of here.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Hey, don't we have like one of those like other like cultist attire stuff?
Uh-huh.
Let's put that over him.
Like dress him up as a cultist?
Yeah.
Nobody questions anyone with a sack over their head, apparently, so...
I think that's just in the one shady bar we've been going to.
I don't
Maybe
know.
everywhere else.
I mean, that's a good place to hold him.
That's true. We could give him to Nine Fingers Keen.
Hey, Hey, want to get one of the culprits that might be kind of like done to the dispatch your kind of like your thugs? Here's one.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah.
Alina, if you're peeking, just Alina had a little peek downstairs. So I was just gonna describe what you saw down there.
Ooh.
Look, he looked dead, so I was like, I'm going upstairs.
Down there, you just saw this what appears to be sleeping quarters. These, from what you could see briefly, there was some kind of hammocks and some curtained off areas. You wouldn't have actually seen the individual that's down there because there'd just be a curtain in the way.
Okay.
But otherwise, you didn't see anyone down there.
Who owns this bar? Do we have a name?
The owner introduced herself on the way in. She is this woman named Lvl4, and she has a crab familiar sitting on her shoulder.
So should we take him to the Blackfish Guards?
I'd rather just like keep him like under guise of a cultist, and let's just hold him in like the shady stuff, like tie him up, manacle him up, and like just keep him prisoner until we have like further details or further evidence.
Wow, I know this guy's a bad guy, but this is making us seem like a bad guy. You know, we walked into this guy's
We're in Baldur State,
and we're like, we're gonna
good guy.
pretend that you're someone else so we can keep you locked up in our basement. Like,
Oh, believe me, you are the bad guys, and I will see that you are punished for what you were
You're
doing.
muffled, by the way.
Yeah. Believe me, you are the bad guys.
Your mage hand and just shove that thing in further.
Oh no!
Anybody have tape?
All right,
been
we might
invented
want to
yet.
move this along. We're getting down to a terrorist organization slowly, so maybe we should figure some stuff up and move from out of this public place.
Is there anything
if-
else here?
If you want, because I mean it, I don't want to go back to me mum's house, but I could look after Emmerich if you want me to. Make sure he doesn't go
Yeah,
nowhere.
do that. We'll do that.
More like you fucking.
I talk about
so
that. Shut up.
mean.
You
Right? You're not
understand
to
it.
let him go.
Tell my rats to also guard him.
And what about this spiny devil?
Kill it.
It's kind of like backing
Please.
away into the corner.
Thank you. I don't need anything else. Die.
I'll say that. You can trade blows with it if you like. It'll have. I'll give
trade
it.
blows.
I'll give it one go to get an attack in on you, and then.
That's fine.
All right.
Oh, by the way, I think at this point he would be no longer a large Kenway
Okay.
because I feel like more than a minute has passed.
All right. So it like tries to like stab at you with your fork as it's kind of backing away into the corner, and then you just go over to it and.
Let me get the magical combo.
That hits. So you just like smash it in the face with this Kanabo, and it just like collapses back into the corner, dies.
Finally, at least I did something today.
Good,
Mark?
Rhea says.
Yeah, Marco would like to like tap Mortlock on the shoulder and say thank you for his help.
Well, it's my pleasure.
You're a
I've
good
never
friend.
had any friends before.
Mortlock.
I'll just say keep up the good work. We'll see you soon.
I love how nobody remembers that he was in charge of like murderers and torturers. And
Absolutely
I'm
do
so
not care.
cute, though. I'm so lovable.
Listen, this is his redemption arc. He didn't understand what he's doing. He didn't understand the from right and wrong, and now that we have corrected this path with force, as demonstrated, he is now on the path to hopefully redemption.
Yeah, that's right. What he said, what the red guy said. I was just doing it because I wanted me mum's love and Abric's love. You could say that I did everything out of love.
I'm a pale one. I'm a pale, remember?
Wait, what color are you?
White. I'm a pale tiefling.
White, a pale tiefling. My bad.
Oh, I'm colorblind. I see white as red.
No problem. No problem.
Everything looks red because I've got so much blood in my eyes after the combat.
Gross. You can dismiss your familiar from any distance, right? I think it's just the communication that has a range. Maybe I'm looking at it, and I think you can dismiss it from anywhere.
Where are you? You're under Alina.
Yeah.
Why? What are you trying to do?
I was gonna leave my cat with Mortlock, and then if we needed it, I could just dismiss it and then summon it back.
I think if it gets beyond a certain distance, then it will disappear.
Does it?
Unless it just can't be controlled.
Genuine question, I don't know.
More rulings on Find Familiar. Here we go.
Yeah.
Find Familiar, fuck.
We should probably,
while it's within 100 feet, you can communicate with it.
Yeah, you can communicate and you can see through it, but it doesn't really say anything else about distance.
Okay, yeah.
I was just saying, just leaving him just with his brother seems like interesting plan.
Yeah, it
does
not say. Yeah, it says as an action you can just temporarily dismiss your familiar. It disappears into a pocket dip, and it doesn't say like a specific amount of distance.
It doesn't say. So I'll say that you can do that, but yeah, you won't be able to communicate with it or see through it or do anything with it.
Can the familiar dismiss itself at all? That feels like a no.
I don't think so.
No, you have to.
Damn.
You can't have it go like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I was saying that would be nice because I don't want my cat to get murdered again.
should we actually leave them here or bring them back to the hotel?
But yeah,
place?
here doesn't seem like a good idea,
no.
but I just meant leaving them alone together seems like a dangerous game.
This Kenku's like, it opens its mouth again. You hear this like, the sound of like horses galloping come out of its mouth. And then this like sound of people going like, run away, run away!
Or is this because I'm behind the bar? Sorry. Leave from
I'm not sorry. Poison your patron. And I'm gonna look for the bottle of stuff and take it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stealing his bottle of poison.
It's like, please, ma'am, I didn't mean to.
Pretty sure you did.
I'm just trying to get by.
Well, you're not gonna get by killing people. Can't kill people and get paid.
We kill people and get paid all the time.
No, we kill them face to face. He tries to do it with kind of a trickery. You know, that's the difference. And then remembering we have a rope.
We have some triggers.
Rightfully killing people from a distance face to face.
It just makes the sound of like these waves crashing on this beach with like like an old man like weeping. That's what it sounds like.
Oh.
Are you Ethel's dead husband talking from the grave, or?
Oh my god.
Don't hurt me, I'm just a simple farmer.
That comes out of its mouth.
I'm not gonna hurt you, but take your shit and don't do it again, or else.
It nods at you.
Perfect. I'll put down like 2 copper pieces.
All right. So we're taking the eviler brother. What about the higher and looking at the one that we just pretty much kind of like ransacked, right? guess he's going with.
Yeah, we're taking it with us. Alright, is there anything else on this ship, like rooms or anything, other than the creepy basement that I'm not going into again?
You can have a look around.
Okay. Because I fell asleep for the first part of the thing when we were yesterday. Or 2 weeks ago.
Nobody went into any rooms or anything up here.
Okay. Oh, what's this? There's a door here, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a door there, but there's a bouncer standing here.
I'm gonna go back upstairs. I need a distraction.
Wait, now? Here?
Downstairs.
Oh, okay. I go pretend to fall down the stairs and.
Oh my god! That's good.
Well, you asked for distraction. You didn't ask the severity.
Okay, well.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
I'm just gonna sit at the bar over here and wait for Ethel to do her thing.
At the bottom, I make a really dramatic fake fall, and I go, oh my god, my hip, and I like start freaking out.
Are you falling up the stairs?
This old strong heart halfling over here is like, oh, I'll save you. He like runs after you and like runs down the stairs and like tries to like help you up.
I
Are
was
you
going
okay,
to,
young lady?
Sorry, I was going to use prestidigitation to make like a hideous snap.
Oh, ew!
Bouncers, come
I
help this
got
poor
psychic
woman.
damage from that personally. I just imagine this horrible cracking.
This
and
guy,
she's not
this
expecting
bouncer,
it to happen.
this bouncer over here kind of steps over and like looks down the stairs. What's going on? And this halfling's like, oh, she appears to have fallen. Like I heard a terrible snap.
Get up! Oh no!
I whisper to Jean Lamour, I'm like, I need the other one distracted. Up there. And I'm gonna like nod.
Do the same thing. Do the same thing.
Lorela sees you whispering to Jean Lamour at that point. And this guy just like looks at you. He's like, What are you doing? Get away from here. This is the captain's cabin. And Lorela is like staring at you. She kind of like steps forward with this crab familiar on her shoulder. She's like, hello there. What seems to be the trouble?
An old
Are you
lady
okay
fell down
there?
the stairs.
She kind of like, she looks down the stairs. She kind of like looks back at Alina. What's going on? Are you okay there? She yells down at Ethel.
I think I might have broken my hip, but I accepted the help up from this like halfling guy. Like I'm definitely not.
I'm just gonna put a silver piece down.
Old woman.
He sort of like tries to take your arm and like help you back up the stairs. As long as you say you're okay.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, what are you doing after this? Would you like to come and listen to some sea shanties?
I'm just like, absolutely.
Well,
I've never heard a sea shanty before.
Christ, we're never gonna leave.
You said provide a distraction. I did it.
Right. Well,
Lorela kind of
that
steps
failed.
back and takes a seat again. Sort of looks at the bartender. She like gives him a wink, like adventurers.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Oh, okay. I say goodbye to this nice man.
Oh,
Good work, Ethel. Good attempt.
Thanks, I tried my best.
You did good. You did good.
do come back soon. Perhaps we could play some Baldur's Boat. Goodbye.
Come along, Ethel dear. Let's get your hip looked at. Oh.
Hopefully, Kensei brings that guy out.
As you emerge at the top deck of this ship, you notice that it's begun to rain and the rain is like getting quite heavy and like pelting the deck here. And
Oh, now I might
Yeah,
actually fall.
the water is like lapping at the sides of the boat, and it's kind of rocking slightly. And what are we doing at this point?
I thought we were dragging him out.
Yeah, we're getting out, and I'm moving my character, but he will be following me as I'm going to be holding him and dragging him out.
All right, so you're dragging Amric out.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, okay. Let me see. What's the time? It's probably like, say like it's like 5. Starting to get a bit later. And yeah, so you come back into Baldur's Gate, and it's raining, and there are people walking by trying to like cover themselves with whatever they can, getting their sort of holding their cloaks over their heads and pushing carts. And as you kind of come back onto the street, you're like pulling Amric with you, and Rhea is following, and Mortlock is following as well. And you've got this band of various unusual people, like a skeleton and some swarms of rats. How long do they last for?
That's a good question. I will
Probably only a
have
minute
look.
or something.
I'll check and I'll put it in the chat.
And you step back onto the dock and head back into the streets. And as you're kind of walking through these streets, you see an aging man dressed in a long dark jacket with a stooped back, pushing a cart with 2 corpses on it in the rain. And he's got shoulder-length black hair, and it's dripping with water, and he's kind of struggling to push this cart up and like get it over an uneven part of the road. And suddenly the cart sort of lurches forward into a large puddle, and seems to get stuck in one of these corpses, like rolls off the front of the cart and like splashes into the water. And he's like trying to like pick up this corpse and sort of struggling with it, and then trying to like sort of run around and push this cart out, and he just can't sort of get it out of the spot that it's stuck in. And it's just pouring with rain everywhere.
I go to the level below. It's like, here, hold your brother.
Hold your brother?
And I will.
Oh, sorry,
Hold your
gotcha.
brother.
Gotcha. Yeah, he takes Amric.
And I will go over and I will aid, and this is probably what's going to get me killed, but aid the old man counting the bodies.
I'm gonna follow a little behind and just double check that neither of these corpses are Freddy. Just
Mark will also make his way over to help out.
Okay, so a couple of you trying to help sort of pull this cart out, and it doesn't look like any of these bodies are Freddy, but this old guy says like,
"Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We've been so overworked as of late with all these cultist murderers and sunshine deaths, and then there were those bodies in medieval dumpsters, and just yesterday 2 very rude flaming fists just dumped a body on me when I already had a full cart and nearly sent me rolling all the way down into the harbor. Those villains don't give a damn about common folk like old Herbert, no sirree."
Where do you bring these bodies?
Usually we would take these bodies to, well, it depends. If somebody pays for them, then we might take them to be buried. But we take them to Candleholler's funeral arrangements. Otherwise, simply to the Shrine of Suffering.
Where was it that Black Fist? Oh. Where was it that the Black Fist guards shoved the body on you the other day?
The flaming fist.
Sorry, the flaming fist.
Well, they didn't pay me. They just told me to take it to the shrine of the suffering and give it to Brother Hodges there with his new apprentice, that young girl Dara, all the way from Eshperta in Arm apparently. Anyway, I dare say the body will be lying there for a while. They've got so many customers, so to speak. If you ask me, it's a health risk having them just lying there for so long. But that greedy gravemaker's crew and Tumbledown won't take any of them without a fee. So I guess we're stuck here with the rot in the city.
Thank you. Thank you. That is, it is. At least we know what happened to him.
Is he a friend? Is he? Would you would you have wanted him to have a proper burial, perhaps?
That was the idea, but it is not so bad to be eaten by rats.
No, it is considered somewhat a lowly way to die, but humble nonetheless.
Please.
I mean, he's already dead, so...
It's true. He's dead. His eyeballs cannot feel a thing.
Well, if you do want a proper burial...
to make Alina squirm.
If you do want a proper burial at Cliffside Cemetery, you can just go to Candle Hallow's funeral arrangements, and they'll meet you there and arrange for all of that, and you can get a tombstone or a plaque or anything. They can also put on a funeral service for you if you'd like and everything. They have a deal where you can actually get two funerals for the price of one.
Ooh.
And Marco will like to nudge, like, Emric at the same time.
What's going on?
You hit your neck.
Oh, we only take we don't take live ones, I'm afraid.
Oh no, he might be dead soon. He has.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's just an in-joke.
Plague.
Just an in-joke.
Kind of backs up a bit.
Oh, well, anyway, I should be going. Oh, by the way, have you heard about undeath insurance? These are dark times with cultists running about the city committing murder and necromancers raising the dead. Might be a good idea to take precautions, else your family be found liable for the activities of your corpses post-death. I can get you a discount at Candle Hallow's funeral arrangements if you like, seeing as you've helped me here today.
We will consider your offer, and if we'll discuss it amongst ourselves, and we'll go to Candle Hollow if we come to some sort of agreement amongst ourselves.
Oh, lovely. Well, just quote my name, Herbert. I do get a bonus. But otherwise, thanks for helping me. Farewell. Don't die too soon.
Kind of like pulls the cart away through the rain.
Before he leaves, Jean-Lamar will give him a handshake, but press a gold coin into his hand. Good man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll maybe spend this on my own burial. Looks like I might be there soon.
Yeah, grave humor.
Yeah. When you're around death as often as I am, your humor becomes, yes, a little bit grave. Anyway, good luck to you.
I understand that. Good luck to you, too.
So where are you going to take this, this
to
captor?
The only shady place that we know. The Blissful Mermaid.
Blushing Mermaid?
No, the Blushing Mermaid, not the Blushing Mermaid.
Captor?
The only shady place we know.
Captive. That's what I wanted. Fuck, can't think today. Alright. Head back to the Blushing Mermaid in Heapside. Mortlock is kind of pulling his brother in tow. He's got this like sack over his head, back into this middle-class neighborhood, and into this dark multi-storied stone building. You open the door and there's the somber receptionist with the comb over. Back again.
Yeah, you're gonna have very good business with us for a while.
What are we? Day 3, is it? Your room is still ready for you. We haven't had them cleaned, unfortunately. We're a little short-staffed at the moment.
I'm gonna grimace.
He just grimaces back. He's just always grimacing, basically. That's a good grimace.
Well, let's go down and kind of like get a load off our shoulders for a little bit, maybe recoup a little bit from rest because we have been through a lot of combat this day.
All right, so you head down these stairs, back into the lower rooms. I won't put us on the map, but yeah, you've still got these 3 rooms down there that you can use.
I'm gonna prestidigitation and clean shit up before I go anywhere.
I think Mortlock slept in the bed previously. It's looking a little bit grimy. It's like some dirt
I
in
won't
it.
sleep in the bed. I'll just sit like in a chair.
Kenway doesn't care. He sleeps on a ship for most of the time. That's always dirty. But as Kenway gets downstairs, he starts kind of like taking the loose clothing and starts dripping it from the kind of like rain. Just.
I'm gonna prestidigitation him dry. Just watching him makes me like ill.
I still do it just because it's funny, but it doesn't make that sound anymore. So it's like, all right.
Just put your clothes back on, for God's sakes.
I mean, it's not like it's when I say the loose clothing, it's just like the outward loose clothing. I still have the chainmail on. I'm just getting the stuff that's not going to stick to my arms and chest.
Do you have anything on under the chainmail, or is it
just naked wearing chainmail?
Like what am I looking at right now?
Listen, I feel like with all the loose apparel that I have, the undergarments are mostly intact. Everything else on the top is going to be wet and drenched, definitely, but I feel like with just whatever the stuff I have on. Oh. Anyway, sorry.
Mortlock also points out to you the location of his mother's villa on the map, which you can see here. Van Thamford Villa is in the upper city, and it's kind of, if you look all the way over to the left, just under where it says Citadel Streets.
Where is it? Oh, left. So, Citadel Streets, okay.
Above temples. Maybe that would have been.
Okay. There it is. I see it now. So it's like right below the High Hall?
Yes.
Okay. I see.
And Ray is like, so, what's the plan?
Yeah, we actually gotta talk about this now, because instead of just trying to go off of each other and trying to read the room, because that clearly, I don't think worked too well last time.
The plan, eh?
Actually, should Amric? Should we put Amric in the empty room, the original office? Like we can, because his ears are still. He's still aware, so we don't want to.
Yes.
Well, maybe you could leave him in here though, because then I could take a nap and that on the bed while he's maybe chain him to the desk or something.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll strap him to the desk while the lovable log tries to go take a nap.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I like that bed. It reminds me of my bed in the villa.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
So obviously we have definitely confirmed that Maka can become insect, so you might be able to recon the area a little bit. How long can you do that? Actually, Maka.
Yep. Only an hour or so.
I also have lots of stealthing stuff now. So that's
True.
good.
So maybe
2 hours. 2 hours actually.
What can you do for 2 hours?
2 hours. So that's much better. Wild shape.
Wild shape.
All right.
So with the more stealthy people, just doing recon.
Oh yeah, it looks like you didn't actually use your wild shape. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine. Should we probably take a long rest because a lot of people are definitely. Yeah. We had 2 combats, and I know Ray, you're eager to do this, but we've had a rough week.
I understand. Better to be prepared.
Good.
That's our motto.
Be prepared.
Correct. We tried to be prepared.
Yeah, the scouts.
Something like that.
All right, so you want to take a long rest?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead and take a long rest. You can do that.
You said for 2 hours of that long rest, I can be learning a spell, right? Like, it counts as part of it?
Yeah, you can do kind of like low energy activity for 2 hours.
Then I'm going to spend 2 of those hours and I think 50 gold to learn Disguise Self.
Okay.
Ooh.
Guys, now I can just pretend to be Amric and just walk in and it'll go really well.
Ooh. We could pretend to be his new posse.
Yeah, how's this? Hello, Mother Earth. This is my new posse. We're doing crimes together.
Where are you learning that from? Where was it?
That's in one of the Necromite ones. It's the first one, I think.
Necromite. Disguise Self. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't need to remove it. Okay,
and I
I'll
just
give you
put
Disguise
5 platinum out, which is 50 gold, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Cool. I can do basic math.
Nice. It should be in your spellbook now.
Nice.
I think. Where did it go? I'm blind. Oh, there. I'm looking right at it. So blind. But yeah, you sleep for 8 hours. Ethel does some studying.
And then those are my new portent rolls.
Oh, okay. I thought I accidentally clicked something.
Nope.
So you rolled a 3 and a 9. Okay. Cool.
Great.
Cool. We could ultimately fuck someone if we really want to.
And I mean, you can like. Do you want to get up at like 1 in the morning, or do you want to kind of wait until it's sort of daytime? You can get up at any time from 1 o'clock on, basically.
Yeah,
okay, I guess the big question is. I was just gonna ask, like, I guess we could be doing discussions like before the long rest. Do we want to do this at the day or night?
I don't think we can get into the high city at night. Right? The
Oh yeah, that's right. They won't let us in.
Like
they won't let us in at day. So.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess we have to do it at daytime.
Okay.
So I guess the beginning of it will be kind of like eating, recuperating, drinking, and then we'll just kind of like attack this planned at day and kind of like hope for the best.
Okay. And everyone's already eaten, and you don't need to drink more because you've got the decanter, so that's all good.
Yep. Sometime tomorrow morning when we're on the way there, is it possible to stop into the shop and just buy the Pearl of Power? I'm not going to try and barter or anything. We don't have to necessarily make a big deal of it. I just kind of wanted to buy it if we had time.
Yeah, you can do that. We could just say you kind of stop in there on the way. Probably don't have to roleplay it or
also
anything.
Also just to keep track of inventory stuff, do we want to separate the gold that we just rightfully confiscated from the evil brother and split it out?
Oh, yeah, I have that. Let's.
So it's like 150, right?
Yeah.
Adrian?
Yes. Yep.
So we each get 25 gold from that.
Nice.
And so Pearl of Power, 160 gold pieces. And I'll put that in your inventory.
Uh-oh, the Flaming Fist is coming back for the evil brother.
10 platinum per gold, right? Or 10 gold per platinum.
Yeah, so you've got like 280 gold in the platinum.
Look, get your brother out the back. We'll hold them off.
I'm left with
They
12,
must not
right?
get him.
How many arrows does Clancy have? Just curious.
Ooh.
Yeah, good question. So,
Yeah.
what was it, like 2d8 or something? I can't even remember what I said. But he shot maybe...
It was like 2d10 for ammunition, and then like 2d4 for thrown-based ammunition, or like thrown-based weapons. I think it was.
I'm going to say that he has 6.
Dang. I was gonna take them. I need arrows.
I mean, we can go kind of roundabout, but did the blacksmith that it's kind of indebted to us sell ammunition? Wait, why am I asking you? I can just look that up. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I think it's in the level 1 Wellham's wares. He doesn't sell. He doesn't sell arrows and things.
Hmm.
Okay, someone had it. Not that one. Someone has it.
I don't remember anyone having it actually, but maybe I can't remember.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I haven't bought any. I think I have 4 left.
Remember, you've got the.
Harsting wares it sells for 40 arrows.
Who was that?
Harstein's Hasterin's wares.
Oh, nice.
40 arrows.
She's got 40 arrows. Cool.
Where's that?
So, Hasterin, you left in the sort of outskirts of the outer city.
Uh-huh.
But you could also look for somewhere in the lower city.
Okay. Can we just say we did that and I'll just pay what I need to pay for some arrows?
Yeah, like, I mean, in the morning, if you kind of wake up at like 5 or something, and
I don't
Janara's
need
going to
a
the
full
shop.
8 hours. I only need 4
And-
hours.
Probably take, because where's the Fletcher? Is in... Where was it? Where was it? Fucking blind today. Oh, there we go. Ranger's Paradise in Heapside. So if everyone heads over to Heapside, you can find this small wooden shack there with an off-white cloth awning supported by wooden poles in the front. And you find this old human man sitting there with a wooden bench behind him, kind of lined with arrows and crossbows, and he's sort of shaving down what looks to be like a thin wooden beam that's probably going to turn into an arrow. And he'll happily sell you some. There's like arrows and bolts and kind of like wooden buckets everywhere, and he'll happily sell you as many as you like. He's got like plenty there. So the cost of arrows is 20 for 1 gold piece.
Okay, so 42 gold pieces, I guess.
40 for 2 gold pieces. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You can do that.
Guys, we've done a lot of shopping this campaign.
And
we, like I said, we try to be prepared.
so what do you do next?
Long rest. We have concluded shopping from at least a couple people. Shall we go try to see about venturing into the... try to get to the Vinthala Villa and hope for the best?
Okay, but what exactly is the plan when we get there? And this time we need to be coordinated. Like, what questions are we asking? Who are we trying to find, you know? Let's all be on the same page.
Okay. So, I think the first step of the plan is probably having Maka as some sort of small insect and possibly Alina stealthily as possible. If there is room for a medium creature to be stealthy. Scout it out, see what we're dealing with, so we have at least advanced knowledge on what might happen if a fight were to break out, because that seems the running gig, especially with me. And then I guess next up will be, once we gather what information we can glean from a person sneaking around, yeah, next we get to the question part. So, I guess the first thing at first is, do we want to be confronted?
Well, firstly, you've got to get into the upper city. So,
yeah,
that might be also. So, Marka and Kenze, you'd know that the wall surrounding the upper city, which also divides it from the lower city, is referred to as the Old Wall. And it has 6 gates along it, including the Black Dragon Gate, which leads out the city to the north. And everyone also knows that unless you're a patriarch or one of the staff or the guests, commoners can only enter the upper city from the lower city via the gate that the city got its name from, so Baldur's Gate. So you can head over there, and there's kind of like there'd be a bunch of fists there, and you'd have to do that before anything else, because you know that.
Well, yeah, we're not saying like
the villa is
out.
like in the upper city.
Right, we're just kind of like trying to just plan out. We're not like at there, obviously. It's just like we're trying to plan out what we want to do. What if we get into there? So
maybe we should flatter her and find a way through to like, yeah, make her vulnerable in that way.
Like, wow, big fans of your murdery cultist work. It's wonderful.
Yeah, oh, you're so rich and powerful, and ooh, tell me more. How do we recruit your services? I don't know.
Okay, Sean Lamar wants to flirt with the woman. All right, cool.
No, I want to flirt with the woman, okay?
Because, like, okay. I mean, if we get confrontational, she'll just be like, okay, get out. I'm going to set my guards on you and, like, kick you out of my house.
Yeah, we don't have any, like, real leverage. Like, we could try to, like, play off as maybe, like, the illusion, like, as, like, servants if we see them, and maybe try to see if we can spot the one person that
hates her.
Well, no, not the hates her, but the one lady that was like either like a prisoner or a guest.
That's true.
That the overseer person, maybe figure out that if it's one of those two things, like that could be up to the like brain dead, the scouting team. See if we maybe be able to find him. Well, while maybe like we're trying to like get on her good graces, that might be a thing. From there, see if maybe we see any like, maybe like part of the scouting team can see if there's any like odd like symbols like relating to any of the cultists or any odd individuals that might scream, "Hey, I'm a cultist." Might also be a good thing to check.
So our priority is the overseer, right?
Yeah, because apart from that, we could try to get on our good graces and see what information trickles out, but we don't really have any leverage except for, hey, we have your son, and then immediately get arrested and get dogpiled by whatever is at the villa.
Unless I look like her son, and then I'm just like, hey mom, what's up? Can you please re-explain to me all your evil plans real quick? I forgot them.
Yeah, like that's not suspicious at all.
Maybe if you're Mortlock, it could work.
Mom,
and then
I
immediately
wanted
die
to
because
go
you're banned
home,
from
Yes,
flight.
yes. Before I die, please, mother, tell me your plans.
Please tell me your plans one last time before I die.
I like this.
I was just gonna say, please, mother, give me the bedtime story of your evil villain monologue one last time.
Or maybe you could be like a drunk Amaric. And like, where's Avernus here again? Like,
Yeah.
I want to play Baldur's Bones with him.
Oh Lord.
Guys, it's gonna go really well.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of our things are like going through at least the first stage, which is just recon.
Yeah,
I feel like.
sounds good. Well, once we get the info, then we could like formulate a good plan of how to attack.
Just to let you know that the reason I was suggesting you need to get into the upper city first is just that you've got a bit of a way to go before you can make it to the villa. Just because we only have like a little bit of time left, that's why I was saying that. Because you'll have to kind of get into the upper city first and like find the villa and everything. And you'll have to get Ray into the upper city, and yeah. Not too tough.
With the person that has disguised stuff, can you give it to other people or just yourself?
No, I was just looking. It's just you.
Damn.
You need like
Well,
a
you can do
stronger
invisibility.
illusion. Yeah.
I have
You
disguise.
can do invisibility. You could try that.
Yeah. How long? It lasts an hour, so that would work for at least getting through the gate. And then maybe for longer than that.
Oh, like using it to get into the upper city.
Yeah, I was thinking if she's
Yeah.
invisible, then she could just I don't know, just sneak right in the middle of the group.
Mhm.
They're like, why is there that weird space right in the middle of you guys? And we're like, what a weird space.
Well, we can't. Well, it'd be weird that we're all just like bunched up. I mean, like we're gonna have like some personal space stuff, like. Like.
And so the invisibility is for 3 people, up to 3 people, was it?
That's only if you have a higher level of spell.
Oh, okay, cool.
I only have a second level spell, so.
That's it. Cool. I think that's a good idea. Sorry.
All right, we will attempt to make her invisible when we get to the checkout point of the Baldur's Gate, quote unquote.
And then for us getting in there, should I disguise myself as Amaric just to walk through the gate very casually? Or do we have another way to get up there?
I think we can use our badges.
Yeah, I was just
mark
gonna
our way
say, can
through.
we just flash our badges? Can't we just get through?
We can see. If not, we'll come back and you guys will be like, wow, we dropped off that old lady and our friend is here. Wow.
Well, just so you know, 'cause you would also know that the upper city is policed by a different group of enforcers known as the Watch. And the Watch is a well-paid and loyal group. They serve specifically to protect the wealthy in the upper city, even if it's at the expense of the commoners in the lower city. And they don't always get along with the mercenary army that is the Flaming Fist, or they kind of have an uneasy alliance. I mean, the Flaming Fist are under the control of the Patriarchs, but they're specifically lower city guards.
This Amaric idea
so
sounds good.
Yeah, we're back to Emmerich.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a good idea. Amaric, where the posse.
Yeah, absolutely. This will definitely work. It'll be great. It'll be totally
100%. Just don't eat the beans.
I go, darn. This really
Doesn't have the bean.
So I guess, yeah, we'd start walking up to the gate. And then once we're within like a few minutes of a walk, I will cast my spells.
Okay, so you're heading towards Baldur's Gate.
Yes.
Okay. So you head through the streets towards Baldur's Gate. This is in the steeps. And yeah, you as you approach, you know there's going to be a bunch of watch guards standing around. And you know there's a curfew for visitors at dusk. And you would also know that when you're entering the upper city, just kind of giving you some knowledge that you would have, that many of the watch officers are sort of born and raised in the upper city, and they pride themselves on recognizing every upper city resident on site. So you would probably know that as well. But yeah, you head into the steeps towards the heart of the upper city, and yeah, this is I don't know if it would Marka or Kenzei have been in the upper city before?
No.
I don't think so. From Marka's point of view, he liked information and knowledge, and if there was a library, possibly. But besides that, I don't think there'll be a reason for him to make his way up there.
I mean, I think the upper city...
I feel like I would have.
I think the upper city would be where there would be libraries and things. But yeah.
Maybe more so in that area, then I'm not sure how that relates to the housing part, the residential part.
Yeah, let me just look at a map. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. So there's the Citadel, there's the residential area, there's a temples district, and then there's like a marketplace. So I imagine that there would be some kind of like educational facilities and libraries and such in the temple district, which would be kind of around the area of the Van Thamper Villa, but below the High Hall. So yeah, it's up to you if you feel like you would have been there before. But either way, like generally, you feel like you should be able to kind of make it through Baldur's Gate pretty easily. So head over there, and as you approach, you see like a large number of these watch guards posted there. There's like 20 of them or something, and they're kind of like sort of searching merchants and carts as they kind of go in, and sort of appear to be receiving some money from some of the people that are trying to get through into the upper city. You see some of them kind of like roughing up this one person who's kind of like, "Oh, what's the big idea?" And they're kind of like clapping him in irons and kind of taking him away. And so what do you do at this point as you kind of approach the gate? You're going to turn Rhea invisible.
Yeah, we'll definitely step out of sight, you know? No one's going invisible right in front of these people. And then, yeah, I guess I'll cast invisibility on Rhea.
Okay. And you don't have disguise self prepared. I don't know if you... But you can certainly say that you did prepare it.
Yeah, I meant to do that.
But what would you unprepare?
Probably mage armor, because I haven't used it once, because shield is better.
Okay.
Guys, listen, I'm just gonna be squishy the whole time. I just want to get anything.
So before she does that, just in case anyone's watching, we're at the Baldur's Gate, right?
Sort of approaching.
Okay, so I'm gonna run up a little further ahead and like go like, "Maka, draw my picture," and like do one of those like touristy things where I'm trying to like hold up the gate.
Yeah, and Marka's like, "Yeah, down the bit, yeah, okay, hold it."
And I just do like the cheesiest smile because like I get to see Baldur's Gate.
And so like anyone who's kind of in the immediate vicinity of Ethel casting some spells is sort of distracted by this. A couple of people sort of laughing at you, pretending that the gate's really small. And nobody
his palm out,
seems to notice.
And the gate's look on his palm.
Just do a couple, just like then run over excitedly to see what you got.
Yeah, it's like pretty crowded, pretty loud. Like, yeah, nobody sees. You're able to get away with it.
I failed my my con save, so I'm a level of exhaustion. By the way.
Wait, what was that from?
Sunshine.
Oh, you don't have to take because you succeeded the last time, and you've only taken it that one time. So you only need to make it that one time.
Oh, I thought it was every morning.
If you succeed on the con save, then it's kind of like you've overcome the addiction.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's like it becomes harder and harder and harder until like basically you can't. So
yeah.
Then you're like hooked.
Cool.
And then I'll disguise myself as Amric. And I do need to remind everyone that this is, no one can touch me because if they do, they will tell that their hand will like go through my clothes and stuff, you know?
I see.
You gotta be careful.
I'm sure no one will put a hand on Amric if they know what's going. If it.
All right. So as you approach the gates, a few of these guards kind of like look at you. One of them sort of looks surprised, looks directly at Amric, and
I'm gonna be deep in conversation with Mako while we're walking up. Like, if I can avoid conversation with these people, I will. I'll be like, yes, trade things.
I'm taking notes, like orders, like a to-do list from Amric.
Yeah, I'll be like, and then you must pick up the groceries. Now remember, I hate tomatoes.
Okay. Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna roll a d8. Okay.
Guys, if it's the one, Amric loves tomatoes, and everyone knows that.
Okay, so they sort of oh, sorry.
I was gonna say today you don't like tomatoes.
So these guards like see Amric speaking to this turtle. They kind of like wave the two of you through. They don't even stop you. One of them sort of waves at you, like trying to get like Amric's attention, like, you know, like hey, but not like, you know, just wants to be like friends with Amric.
I do like a little nod, but I'm invested, and then I like wave for the others to follow me as well.
Another guard kind of like sees Kenzei, this pale, tall. Are you tall? I forget your description.
I am taller than the average tiefling. Like,
He's taller than the average tiefling, pale, horned. You know, it says like, hold on a minute, stop, you there. Where are you going?
I'll just be like, he's with me, and then just go back to talking with Marco.
Let me see. So with disguise self, I mean, he has no reason
he's with me.
to be
this
suspicious.
Is my voice.
This is a Brooke.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he... Random... Sorry, bear with me.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Recognizing Amric, he's just kind of like, pardon me, have a good day, sir, and like waves you all in. Basically, nothing happens at this point. I mean, you would know, especially Marka and Kenzei, that usually you would have to pay like a bribe to get through, but with Amric at the lead, nothing happens, and you're able to walk in unaffected by any of these guards. And
out of character, just like gives him the high notes, like like the first time we will ever do that.
Wait, what does he do?
He just like turns up and still like it's just kind of like after the kind of like fixing the whole situation, like
what, like sort of like
yeah, exactly,
like snubs them. One of them goes like red in the face, like, oh fuck, I hope I didn't offend Mr. Van Thampa's friend. And so you head through the gate and into the upper city. This is the home to the patriarch aristocracy of Baldur's Gate. It's a place of beauty and splendor where magnificent public sculptures stand alongside historic manors, upscale theaters and boutiques, and stone-walled gardens tucked among the streets like hidden jewels. Flowers bloom along the tree-lined footpaths, ushering away any stray miasma that escapes from the less fortunate quarters below. Silks and velvets, gold braid and mink, water-clear diamonds and luminous pearls. These are common sights in the upper city and hardly glimpsed elsewhere except as cheap imitations. Everything here speaks of privilege and wealth. Magical lights illuminate the clean-swept streets, some bearing enchantments that hold back the river fog. Most of the city's major temples are located in the upper city, flagrant evidence of how the faiths value the city's wealthy elite over congregants with shallower pockets. The finest wine shops and ateliers and jewelers are all in the upper city, where the Watcher's nightly ritual of expelling all non-residents reinforces their air of luxurious exclusivity. The residents up here feel great pressure to maintain outward appearances and keep the facades of their estates finely maintained. Some of you look particularly out of place walking through here, and the snobbery among passerbys is blatantly exposed even though you're walking with Amric. You know, they kind of like turn in your direction and sort of look at some of you and sort of and then see Amric and what's and so they're kind of whispering between themselves, kind of gossiping and this sort of thing. And I'm just going to actually roll another die. Give me a second.
I was also going to cast Gift of Alacrity and twin it when we get to like the house, and give Maka one for drawing.
Okay, I'll say you can kind of find like a place to do that where nobody is going to see you. Yeah, it's like kind of less busy around here, so you can do that. Let me just... What was it asking for? D20. And... Okay. Just
so if you
in.
roll D8 Maka, you can add it to your initiative.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, I guess not much is going to happen when you've got Amric at the lead. You see this kind of like group of entitled young patriarchs walk by, and each of them has like a personal bodyguard. And again, they kind of sort of aren't paying attention. They're sort of talking amongst themselves and like nearly run into you. But when they see Amric again, they're kind of like, oh, pardon me, and they sort of get out of his way and get out of your way as well. So not really anything happens there. And yeah, you can head over towards the villa unobstructed. Is there anything else that you want to do before you go there, or do you just want to go straight there?
Mark is excited, and he actually points out to Amric. Of course, knowing it's Ethel saying, Amric, you should visit that library as we're walking past. You're gonna love, like, that.
Emmerich gets like, or Ethel as Emmerich gets like excited in a way that Emmerich definitely doesn't about libraries. It's like, I wonder what organizational system they use.
Emmerich, sir, please keep a head fixed on the mission at times, please.
Can we stop on the way back, please?
On the way back, if we have time and not being chased, we can definitely take out the library, sir.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Don't face.
You head pretty conspicuously but unhindered towards Van Thampa Villa, and we'll leave it there for the week. Yeah, I was going to suggest we do another session next week if everyone's up for that, just to get back on the rotation we were at previously.
Yep, sounds good.
I'm all for that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm good.
All right, thanks for playing, everyone. I liked doing it a little bit earlier. It's good. It's I can have a bit more of an evening, and I imagine hopefully some of you are not completely falling asleep.
It's not my fault. I'm an old lady.
No, that's all right. I know it's like 3. It's like 3 in the morning, or it was by the time we were ending. It's cool.
It was 1. But yeah, I've also been getting up at like 6 in the morning every day. So I've been going to bed at like 9, 8. This is the latest I've been up in like 2 weeks.
That's understandable. I've just started a new job. I'm getting up at like 4:45 in the morning. So this benefits me as well because now my bedtime is like 9:45.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Glad you can relate.
But yeah, cool. Okay, we'll run the next session next Saturday, same time, and enjoy your weeks. And thanks for playing.
Awesome. Thank you. Session.
Thanks.
Bye, friends.
Yay, we get to do beanie! Woohoo!
Is it breaking and entering if everyone thinks you're the guy who lives there? Yes,
Yeah, like very much so. Yeah.
It'll be beanie once we figured out that
It's just
they will
entering.
figure out it's
You're
beanie.
not going to be breaking anything. It's just walking.